employees. I'm going to the platform. I am one of all employees. I'm going to the platform. All employees. All employees. Repeat, all employees. All employees. Repeat, I am one of all employees. I'm going to the platform. I am one of all employees. I'm going to the platform. All employees.
Yo, what up, what up, what up? Yo, Dante, why are you gay? What's good, y'all? Appreciate y'all pulling up. I'm just working out a little bit of the BS. It took forever to make coffee, so. Dante's just Dante. We just accept Dante for who Dante is. Yo, what's up, everybody? Yo! Happy Tuesday, everyone. It's really good to see you guys. Cult Classic Cage is now loading. Yeah, pretty much that's how it is when I wake up, alright? Nice title. Appreciate you, appreciate you. Yo, Piranha Pout. Yamato, my man, Yamato. Good to see you, man. Igalik, my homie. Music is slamming. Well, to be fair, Masked Infinity, all employees is not mine. Shout out to to the OG, okay? That is, you know, DSP greatness, all right? DSP greatness. Real quick, I'm just gonna tweet this out that we are live so that we can have the other homies pull up. Still is lit. Yeah, absolutely. Solid song. I appreciate that. My man Lobo pulling up. Brandon! Good to see you, Brandon. You're useless. Yo. Kami, appreciate you being here. What's good, everybody? Hope y'all are doing well. I'm just gonna tweet this out real quick and then put it in the Discord because I'm late as fuck. I was taking forever to make coffee. But I do have my motor oil, so you know I'm happy once I have my motor oil. We are live, baby. Yo, my man Otendo. Let me see, real quick, brother. Wild Dog Gamer Boy, Mystic Shadows. Enjoy. I will, of course, enjoy my motor oil. Okay. I live for that. I live for it. Really good. Really good. French vanilla flavor, baby. Not my preference, but some of those pics of you in Star Wars situations, though. Hell yeah, I got you, dog. Hold up. Let me just tweet this out and then I'll pull up some of it. So, Attendo's referring to the reality that I had a massive streamer fail the last stream. At first I was really pissed the fuck off because I fucked up royally. And I really don't like to fuck up because I like every single one of my Thursday night live streams, Twilight Zone of Gaming, to have the same format. So the fact that I had to essentially yeet the first hour of the podcast killed me inside. Well, not podcast, but live stream killed me inside. But then Attendo and others decided to meme on it, which honestly made me happy. Not necessarily happy that it happened, but content with reality because it was quite entertaining. It was very entertaining. So I definitely appreciate you, Attendo, for that, as well as others who decided to meme on the moment, Astro Cyborg being one of them. He was one of the first ones, which was really, really funny. And for a second, hold on. I'm still trying to get my brain unwarped. But let me see, we got that tweeted out. And then we read in a Discord real quick. And then we'll show you some Attendo's creations. His good creations. I can't obviously show the videos. But I hope you guys are doing well. Blazing Silver, what's good, my guy? Astro! Switch to reveal week, boys. Of course, it's a rumor for Cage Day. I know. Astro, everyone wants to hijack Cage Day for me. It's under attack. Worst case scenario, guys, if it's really early in the morning, the Switch reveal, then I'll, we'll stream it. And what I'm talking about early in the morning, I'm talking like 9 in the morning, because that's like the earliest I could be home in time to do the reveal. If it's at 9 in the morning, it's cool. Or if it's like 9 or 10 and it's not like a fucking 2-hour long event, obviously it's not going to be that. But I'll stream it, then we'll do Cage Day, 8 p.m. EST as per usual on Thursday. If it's like later in the day, like 1 in the afternoon, I'll probably just stream that and then move the Twilight Zone of Gaming to Friday night. That's the best way to do it. That's what I'm going to have to do when the Xbox showcase happens, because they're, of course, trying to do it on Thursday. They're going to be doing it on Thursday, and it's going to be at like 12 in the afternoon. So I realistically can't get enough sleep to do like a 7-hour stream and entertain you guys. So for that situation, definitely Xbox event Thursday, noon, we'll do that. And then Friday night, 8 p.m., we'll do Twilight Zone of Gaming. So that's the plan. I'm still not completely sure what Nintendo's planning to do. I'm not sure Nintendo knows what the fuck Nintendo's planning to do, but that's what it is. That's the plan as of right now. I will update you as soon as I have the concrete situation at hand. Dante, it seems like no one wants me to get sleep, man. I just want to sleep and I want to do my best for you. All right, for all of you. I want to give you guys a well-rested cage so that I can properly entertain you. Yo, Hornstar, Jacob! Saturday I'm watching Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Okay. Sleepy Cat, good to see you. Stank Bro was good, homie. It's good to see you guys. I really appreciate y'all being here. Casualty is a game of my guy. What you're about to watch is painful. I did not watch any of it. I went straight. So, Nagalik, I asked him flat out, I'm like, hey, do you think that this is worth reacting to? And he was like, honestly, yes. So I'm going clearly just off Nagalik's recommendation to stream. So if this turns out to be like a terrible video, it's all his fault. Yo, Cali Rex is good. Yo, sick hat, not gonna lie. Where can I cop the cap? What am I wearing today? Oh yeah, I'm wearing my cage hat. I almost forgot. I was like siphoning through my hats. I'm like, you know what? Let me wear my hat. But I do have a shop on cultclassiccage.com where if you want to pick up a hat, you're more than welcome to. I appreciate that if you would like. I do think it's cool, but I'm also extremely biased. So it's good to hear that basically I'm not the only one that thinks that my hat is cool. So I appreciate that though. Link is in the description, by the way. Never go born again. It's the same as going full R word. I mean, I think that it's fine to use Christianity to make your life better. But it's another thing when you use your life choices to try and dictate other people. You can't do that. You have to let people find their own way. You know what I mean? Like, just fucking chill. Like, do what you want to do. Don't be a dick to other people and try to force them to do things that they don't want to do. That just makes them resent you and what you stand for even more. It's just it's basically you're just fucking yourself over in terms of like how you would like to see the world. All right, so we got funny pictures from my man Nintendo, the homie. All right, we got and we got. Apparently, I'm a Sith Lord. So yeah, there's that. I'm a Sith Lord. And here we go. Pain. Hold on. Oh yeah, we're good. All right, let's go. This is what has transpired since then. Hold on. This is what has transpired. Darth Goon? I'm Darth Goon now, apparently. So that happened. It's like I'm getting attacked from the side as I'm carrying out my attack. It's kind of like I don't know if you remember in Dragon Ball Z where Cell is trying to kill Gohan and then Vegeta pulls up and starts hitting Cell from the back. I mean, what? Pause? And then like Cell looks to the side of him like, you motherfucker. That's pretty much me in this moment. El Goon Lord, love it. Yeah. Then we got oh shit. Unlimited gooning. Yo, this one's a banger. I like the mysteriousness. Nintendo, you did your thing. You did your thing, brother. Next up, oh, this is a big file. Hey, let's go. I'm the kid again. Oh, let's go. I forget what you wanted me to say, but I haven't watched episode 1 in like at least 5 years now. It's been a little minute. Hey, yo, Dante, you give it. Yeah, Tendo was really getting a kick out of doing these. He was having way too much fun. Now this is goon racing, yeah. This one was like, all right, dog, you was getting tired here. Shout out to you, bro. And then, oh yeah, this is, oh my god. Who made this? I forgot who the fuck made this. Y'all are sick though for this shit. A dumbass. Bro, this streamer fail had went from being like the thing that kind of pissed me off to like, okay, it happened, and what came of it is hilarious. Yeah, y'all be wilding out here, dog. Y'all need to be stopped. Prison. Yeah, we got another one for Nintendo. Let's go. The Goon Sith Lord, let's go. I ain't gay, but man, what a dump truck. Yeah. And then the last one. Good stuff, Nintendo. You killed it. Unlimited gooning. Absolutely. You guys are too goddamn much, man. Too much. You can see, you can hear the music from the scenes in this image. Yo, you guys, I hope you got a good kick out of it. I got a kick out of it, so thank you for that, Nintendo. I appreciate you, brother. Caught you laughing at Order 66. Oh man, but that was good shit. That was good shit, man. You guys managed to turn like a shit moment into an awesome one. And Nintendo actually did do like video edits. He did a couple of video edits. I did retweet them on my Twitter if you guys want to check them out. It's Star Wars related edits that were pretty cool, pretty solid. So Nintendo did his thing. He was inspired. All right, he was inspired to make everyone laugh. And we were in a Discord while he was making it. It was funny. It was funny as shit. Yo, my man Xavier, what's good with you, bro? Lilith, what's good, fam? So I'm a little bit like Nintendo. I don't know if I should show the videos because of copyright related shit. And most copyright isn't a bad thing. Like, sometimes it gets a little funny though. She's scared. Truth is out. Yo, Xavier, member for 12 months of the Cult of Cage. I appreciate you, dog. By the way, guys, if you are channel members, join the Discord. At this point, I made it easy in terms of joining. All you have to do is link your YouTube and your Discord, and you should get invited to my server if you're already a channel member. I restructured the entire Discord so that everything is gonna flow better now. There's a lot of different shit going on in there. I got all new roles and such. Really, I added a fuck ton of new emotes too, like animated emotes. So I really did see that you guys wanted to be a part of Discord. You guys want to be in the community, and you guys are contributing to the community. So I definitely wanted to upgrade that and fix a lot of stuff that I had going on there. Yo, Delta was good, my guy. So, if you're a channel member, take the opportunity, take advantage of your channel membership and join the Discord server because there's a bunch of cool homies in there. And if you haven't considered becoming a channel member, maybe so. 99 cents gets you instant access to the Discord. Why the fuck not, right? Gets you cool emotes for the live streams, and we have a bunch of fun. Yo, my man Delta, Cult of Cage member for 9 months. I appreciate you, dog. Guys, we have 96 homies up in here. What the fuck? You guys are too much, man. You guys are too much. If you haven't hit the like button, it does help me out. Yo, Quiet Cries, hanging out with the boys. Absolutely. Yeah, we've been bumping in the Discord for like a couple weeks now. Like we've been doing our thing. We've been doing our thing. So it's been cool. But today, guys, we have an interesting discussion at hand because Gooner Gate continues, apparently. All right, it continues. Coke Cage? What? I do not do drugs, sir. Except coffee. Only gate? Onion gate? Oh, man. But I appreciate you guys being here. Oh, no. Dante, you wildin', dog. So, Goonergate continues to propagate, I guess you could say. Because Melonie Mac recently made a video responding to essentially the discussion that we had weeks ago. I don't know if that's maybe a lot of engagement or traction that she's gotten in comparison to a lot of other things that she's gotten herself into for a while now. But she continued the discussion with her own video, basically talking about her side of things. And we're gonna react to it. Because I think it's important to really just bring home the reality that we're not gonna let people police the kind of content we want to see. You don't have to like it, you don't have to engage in it. But you're not going to tell us what we should and shouldn't be playing, watching, all that. So that's pretty much the main situation. And I'm interested to hear her side of things because it's kind of interesting that before she had her little moment on Twitter with the First Descendant, she seemed to be completely cool with video games that have relatively revealing characters. I mean, she's a huge fan of the original Tomb Raider games, all right? That original Lara Croft model, which could be considered Gooner bait. Obviously, she's defended stuff like Stellar Blade. She's been a fan of Eve as a character, especially when people attacked gamers for liking the game, as well as attack the game and the game developers, all right? The director for creating quote-unquote Gooner bait or whatever the fuck. Calric says, Cass, you're not allowed to play GTA 6 when it releases. If you do, you're grounded. Dude, it's not releasing on my platform day and date anyway, so I don't give a shit. I'm good, bro. I'm kind of glad that it's not coming to PC day one because I want to really see things for what it is. And when you're not being tempted by fear of missing out, FOMO, at this point it's just like, well, I'm waiting to see. Melonie's a Bible thumping Gooner, full stop. I don't think she's one of us, bro. I don't consider her one of us. I gotta admit to it. Because you can, I've accepted my fate as Gooner. Thanks, Steve. Jordan, it's good that we can just come to terms with who we are as people. I want a pay-per-view of Melonie fighting Pokimane. Wouldn't that be depressing as fuck? I don't know. Would that be... Do you guys think that would be worse than Boogie versus Wings of Redemption? Because that was pretty fucking bad, all right? Boogie went full bitch made mode. Like, dude was absolutely rancid in the ring. Motherfucker should have never been in there, period. But that is basically the intro to the stream. From Melonie Mac Go Boom channel, we have Goonergate addressed. And so that's what we're going to be watching today. And we'll see what's up, man. We'll see what's up. That would be as bad as Jake Paul versus Mike. Oh, God. I don't know. Maybe worse.
Okay, so this video has been a long time coming. A little over a month ago, I got canceled from
shit.
the anti-woke.
Hold on. What the fuck? Hold on.
Okay, so this
There we
video
go.
has been a long time coming. A little over a month ago, I got canceled from the anti-woke side, right?
All right, so we're already starting from the position of I'm a victim with this video, it seems like. and the one thing I definitely don't like about the anti-woke side at times is, they like to just say I've been canceled as self-victimization all the time. And like nails to a chalkboard. Sadly, yes, but they constantly use this to self-victimize. And for me, it's like when I use it, it's more of like a joke. Like, I've been canceled, bitch. But it's like, you're not trying to joke about your, what the side that you're on. It's like, you obviously joke about that with the side that clearly, doesn't fuck with you and is never gonna fuck with you. So fuck them. You know what I mean? But, yo, Chris was good, homie. Said everything Melonie Mac does is an act. She's she used to be all about LGBT rights. Then just a few years ago, when the money from that ran out, she decides to jump on the anti-woke grift. Total clown. I mean, it doesn't sound up. And the reality is, Melonie has not been canceled. All right, she decided to essentially go on full hypocrite mode and essentially just kind of turn on everything she claimed to be okay with. So just as recently as Stellar Blade, which came out just in the middle of last year. So being called out on your bullshit is not getting canceled. How you choose to go about it, if you choose to double down, or just avoid the honest conversation, like it seems as though maybe you're doing, that is not even what's getting canceled. You're canceling yourself essentially from a massive part of your audience that you've essentially fooled into believing that, hey, you just want games to not to just be for gamers. Like, to you, it's more stipulations than that, it seems like. You've masqueraded in the let live crowd, Bible thumping, and people thought you were fine, up until a point. But apparently now that's not the case. You've went full mask off. That isn't you getting canceled. That's people just telling you, hey, you're full of shit. Like, you have to address this because you were about one thing and now that's clearly changed. Yo, Spectre, what's good, my man? Jarrett, good to see you. Yamato says the simps she got are anti-woke, too, but it seems like they are okay with what she's saying. And that goes into an even more depthful level than just the games themselves, because like she's going to address certain things of, I'm assuming, what's Gooner bait and what's not. And it's like, you kind of pose yourself in a way as Gooner bait, because a lot of the men that watch you not because of what you say, but how you look, the pictures that you choose to post and whatever, all that stuff is for attention. All right. And me, as a content creator, for example, I want attention, but I go about it in a certain way that I feel comfortable with. I don't post pictures of me in, certain outfits because that's not my style. It's not what I do. And that's not the type of audience that I want to attract. That's not my bag. But she seems to do it in a different, she's a little bit different when it comes to that.
Canceled or cancel attempt, it is what it is. I lost a lot of followers here on YouTube and on X because I said I do not want perversion in video games. And
that's too fucking bad. Too fucking bad. What you deem as perversion seems to be warped. It seems to, and she was going so far as to call stuff like The First Descendant, like, to the level of pornography, which is completely fucking insane. She's a regular in a podcast called The Simpcast. What a surprise. But like, to say this, that you do not want these games, like, you do not dictate what paying gamers want. Period. You don't dictate that. Like, the reason why everyone can pretty much unanimously in our circle say fuck you to games that are considered quote unquote woke or whatever have you, or just pushing political propaganda that's left leaning blatantly in our faces, is because, well, nobody actually buys that shit. Like, longtime franchises hijacked and forced to have forced ideological bullshit in them. Yeah, like that fails because nobody fucking wants it. The reality is you're going against now something that clearly has an audience, and that audience is not perverse in nature. Otherwise, a huge portion of people that have watched your content or listened to you are essentially, you're calling them perverts, which I think is disrespectful as fuck. Especially when you've led them to believe that you believe in something entirely different for years now. She's just being done in quit gaming. It's just cringe. But this take, Roke White is clown. Yeah, they're wearing clown shoes right now. Absolutely. And they want to pretend that it doesn't exist. Now, I don't think the woke right is a good term for it, but it does explain what the fuck they're doing. And we ain't about that shit. I think Melonie is also regular on side scrollers. Sadly enough, devs will watch these types of videos and they will change it because that's what we all want. Yeah, obviously, like, we want good entertainment that caters to gamers first and foremost. We don't give a fuck what Melonie wants. She's definitely, at least to some extent, a gamer. I'll give her that. But you don't have to play everything. I guess she wants the most popular shit out to appeal to nuns and shit, but that doesn't work that way.
Cass, is she like a female Matt Walsh? XD.
I guess, except she doesn't have children, so thanks for the 2 devastators. So I guess in a sense, yeah, you're not wrong. But Mr. Tickletrunk says a small number of people determining what in games is only bad when they do it. Melonie Mac. Let's continue, guys.
Includes that of the straight variety, right? Now, some people I've learned that the anti-woke, there are different factions in the anti-woke crowd.
It's true.
I am a Christian. Everything I do, everything I say, everything in my life is centered around Christ. So I didn't make this channel
This feels weird because, like, she has this giant ass fucking Tomb Raider statue, like, behind her. Like, she's Christian, but what kind of Christian? Because Catholics don't mind, like, statues and whatnot. Catholics are also kind of, like, mid, like, Christians. So I'm wondering, what kind of, like, Christian does she fall under? It's just a really weird. Honestly, all of her takes, like when she just runs to say everything I stand for revolves around Jesus. I'm going to take this really stupid fucking stance. And if you don't like it, that's too bad. I stand with Jesus. It almost feels like a lot of the time when she has a bad take, she uses Jesus as an excuse to have a take. That's what I see whenever she posts that shit on Twitter. It's almost like Jesus is the excuse to be stupid. That's how it comes off to me. Every time she does this, it sounds silly at this point. And horror, she is divorced. She is divorced, but I do think that at that point she wasn't a religious zealot, obviously. We don't know exactly her situation in regards to that, but it seems as though
Mel should change her streams from members only to believers only.
Hey, Yoni-san, thank you so much for the 5. You wildin' for that. Yeah, she's technically born again. So at some point, something went wrong with her marriage, and
It's official.
she had
You suck.
I bet she'd die from a stroke if she saw Leisure Suite Larry.
Leisure Suit Larry. Yeah, she ain't ready for it. She definitely ain't ready for it. Scarga, thank you so much for the 5. So yeah, prior to being divorced, it seemed as though she wasn't ultra religious, but at some point it seems as though like her marriage, went down the toilet, and then as a cope, she seemed to have resorted to becoming more religious than she had previously.
by her belief standards. Croft isn't a role model.
I mean, you're not wrong on that, Black Metal Gamer, or at least she would prefer the revised version of Lara Croft. I would think possibly, right? That she's more of a nun type, all right? She has I don't know, I think the modern Lara Croft is a reserve till, she's like not gonna do anything till marriage because she absolutely friend zoned the fuck out of her buddy, or a Jonah. So I don't know, mate. I'm surprised that she doesn't love the newer version of Lara. I'm just saying, brother. So yeah, it seems as though she felt as though she made a mistake with her marriage. Things went south, and it seems as though maybe she turned to religion for cleansing, forgiveness, and stuff like that. So that's what it is. It would be interesting if she would clarify more openly, but this is us trying to put together at least an understanding of where she's coming from, because I kind of sympathize with a situation like that. Your marriage goes to shit, and in order to deal with that, you kind of turn to that religious factor. I mean, it's understandable. I don't oppose people that are religious. All right, I have religious people in my family, friends that I have on here and in real life are religious. Whatever helps you deal with your life, whatever helps you get by. I completely support that. It's just that, hey, don't put that on me. Like, my best friend, for example, happens to be Muslim, and guess what? She doesn't put any of that stuff on me. She knows that I don't even understand much about it, but hey, when she has particular things that she has going on, I respect that, and she respects the reality that while I respect that she is Muslim, I don't really care much for it. It is what it is, and we have that basic understanding, and that's why one of many reasons why we get along pretty well. So, oh god, tattoo style doesn't fit Christian either. I think a lot of this is possibly prior to her born again situation. Christianity is the belief that you can find forgiveness. Like, you're essentially born with original sin that is unavoidable, and that it is normal that you're gonna fuck up, but seek forgiveness and change and be a better person. That's the ideal way of Christianity. So like I said, I understand the basic sentiment of her situation and how she got here. I kind of have a general understanding, or at least I can sympathize with that. But once again, it's not her, practicing her religion that I have issue with. It's when she tries to project that and force people to abide by her ways of, her Bible thumping ways. That's when it becomes a bit of an issue. DJ the Don says, that's exactly how I am. I'm Christian, but I don't force my beliefs on anybody. Yeah, I really don't like to force my beliefs on anybody either. You know why? Because they're just going to reject it. If they want to find that, that path, they have to accept it themselves. You can't force that on them. That's going to make them reject you and reject. It's essentially like you fuck yourself over. So, I definitely understand that, and shout out to you, brother.
3 years ago, to put my neck out there to get blacklisted from the video game industry so I can't even do mainstream work like I used to do. I didn't put myself in that position to call out the perversion with the queer ideology and this, that, and the other that has been infecting everything. I didn't put myself in that position just so I could turn around and push perversion just because it's straight.
Nobody's asking you to push perversion. And now you're lumping the group that happens to disagree with you with people that have essentially tried to push, gender theory into schools, onto children. That's not fair. That's not acceptable. Everyone here is just saying, hey, this game is rated M for mature, and let gamers who fall under that guideline have their games. We're not trying to force this on children. We don't want children playing The First Ascendant. We don't want children playing fucking Stellar Blade. Like, this is not comparable, and that's kind of disrespectful to a lot of what I'm assuming is your longtime audience. Yo, Epic Treasure, thank you so much for the gifted, fam. That's super nice of you. Thank you so much. I hope you're doing well. But I think that's completely unfair to a lot of your longtime audience to immediately lump them into that because they don't
Bible
agree with you.
states you cannot tattoo or mark your body, and cannot idolize worldly objects. She has a tattoo and a statue of Lara. This is idolatry 101.
Yeah, Wild Dog Gamer Boy, appreciate the 5. Now, with the tattoos thing, it's kind of just permanent for the most part. So I can understand, like, it is what it is with that. But yeah, having a statue of Lara is really an interesting choice because it seems to like go against, I don't know. But yeah, it's that's a questionable one for sure. So yeah. I just don't think it's fair to lump
official.
them together
You suck.
just because you don't agree.
Baptist. Westboro Baptist, that is.
Yo, Censor, thank you so much for the 2. Appreciate that, brother. But yo, the chat is bumping right now. Yeah, I just think that it's not fair to do that. Don't do that. Don't lump in a lot of your longtime audience that essentially you fooled into believing like, hey, you want to be fair about things and just automatically make them out to be extremists or compare them to the extremists that we've criticized for a long time just because you guys no longer see eye to eye. Essentially, you've no longer fooled them into believing, hey, she's with us. Like, that's on you. You're the one that's being the extremist here, not them. Don't compare them to other extremists.
Not gonna happen. Now, if you want some sort of context, I can give you a little bit. I'm not gonna show the actual video because I do have a lot of Christians who follow me who probably wouldn't appreciate having something like that thrown on the screen. But a lot of you already know.
I'm curious. Did she stream Stellar Blade? I don't think so. At least not on YouTube. Maybe on Kick. That would be interesting if it was like, oh my gosh, it was totally fine to stream Stellar Blade. I don't know. She has a live channel, huh? That's interesting.
What I'm referring to. Now, this is a
Hell yeah,
game
Nintendo,
called
be yourself,
The
man.
First Descendant. Didn't play it. Didn't really comment on the game itself. I commented on the material that was presented in question. And the material that was presented in question of the tweet that blew up and got me so much backlash and hate and saying I was betraying everybody was a video of a character dancing and shaking her butt in a thong with the camera focused on it. Again, I'm not going to post it just out of respect to my fellow Christian viewers. And I know some guys are struggling with pornography and they don't want to see that because
we're comparing The First Descendant to pornography. This is very problematic to me. Yo, Simply Simple, thank you so much for the gifted membership, brother. Everyone's spreading the love. Simply Simple got a gifted membership, and he was like, "Hey, fuck it, man. I got one gifted to me. I'm gonna gift it to someone else." That's awesome. But
It's official.
I think this
You
is a really
suck.
bad take.
In other words, my argument will be completely dismantled if I show the First Descendant clip, so believe me, everyone.
Bikini Draws is good, fam. Thank you so much for the 5. I mean, yeah, that seems to be the case here, but look, man, I think pornography is definitely a huge issue. That's an entirely different issue. Actual pornography and the industry of porn, it is there is so much issue there in regards to how not just the addiction really that a lot of people do have to pornography, but also the reality that there's a lot of abuse of all kinds going on in that industry, and I think is a serious issue that needs to be addressed because those are real life people on camera performing these acts, and there's a lot of crazy shit that goes into that doesn't go addressed, particularly age verification, stuff like that. And that is a whole other situation of real life people that I definitely think is a problem. I don't particularly like to talk about that. I like to talk about video games. But I do definitely acknowledge that as an issue, and I think that that would be something that perhaps Melonie would be a good candidate for addressing that reality in the pornography. But to compare that to the First Descendant, a video game, all right, that is made with pixels, all right, it's not real characters, it's not real, real people, it's not like there's no abuse that goes into this, at least in regards to game development, all right, so there's no, that's a whole different ball game that we're talking about here. So to kind of try and lump them together is also extremely disingenuous. So that's my 2 cents. I know this is like, talking about a whole other thing that definitely, like, to me, that is a very serious situation that I don't really like to talk about because this really isn't the channel to talk about it. But it is something that I do acknowledge and I think is an issue from an addiction perspective to pornography, as well as the situations that involve the people that engage in it. So, that are actually creating that kind of content. I disagree with you with your take on this level. Just because it's not a real woman who is not being abused doesn't make it okay. If that was okay, then cartoon child. Okay, so Uncle Gus, you bring up a good point.
It's official.
Yes, when it
You
comes to
suck.
depicting children,
I
that's
think there's a study comparing porn ad to meth.
I mean, people are addicted to any fucking thing, Like, we all have our vices. Like, for example, coffee is my vice. It's something I'm super, super addicted to. Video games I've always been addicted to.
It's official. You suck.
Danger Cage you and Smash make me wanna react to this now. LOL.
But Katie, definitely go for it, fam. You have interesting things to add to the conversation for sure. So I do agree with you, Gus. Like, that's more of an extreme situation, but I agree. Yeah, that's not okay. Absolutely. It's one of those things where, like, that the females in the First Descendant, at least from what I've seen, I haven't really played it other than the beta, but the females that I've seen in the First Descendant look pretty convincingly adult. So, yeah, like, the game is rated correctly. It seems though, at least the women that I've seen seem to be of age or clearly of age and from the general eye. So that's different. So it's not just about pixels either, or pixels or not. What is it about? What is it about? Like, my thing is, like, are we really going to say that the First Descendant is pornography? Because that's not the case. Like, that's not realistic. Like, that's not fair. I think, in my opinion, the game is fairly rated. It is an M rating. It doesn't have an AO rating. So it doesn't fall in that line of, that. But yeah, like the line is, from what I've seen, this is illegal. Like, actual legal. If it falls under being illegal stuff that's being depicted in terms of sexuality, because at the end of the day, we do play video games in which you commit homicide a lot of times. So, I mean, in regards to sex, legality does not equal morality, though, and that is a fact too. But are we going to talk morality in video games? Because then I'm doing immoral shit in video games every fucking day. But am I that type of person in real life? No, absolutely not. I'm not a murderer in real life. So to have that discussion of morality in video games is like, that's crazy, because if you want to make all games adhere to morality, games, almost all of them, would change substantially from, hey, no more abusing animals, like fake animals in video games, to no more killing people, to, like, that would change video games across the landscape, even to games that are rated E for everyone. So that's like, that doesn't really make sense to take it to that point. But let's continue.
Because of that reason.
Yo, Sonia, what's good, fam?
not only was I grossly misrepresented and told, oh, what are you talking about? You're being a prude because this character was 80% clothed, huh? Funny that you want to use those words. Oh, but she's 80% clothed, even if that includes nothing on the bottom. It kind of doesn't matter. Almost don't pretend, at least don't play stupid with me. Don't pretend that there was not lustful intent with that video. And that is not.
Okay, so the person that made it obviously was looking at the goodies. The problem is, it's like, okay, so you want to control how the camera can be oriented? Is that what we want to do now? Is that what we're going for? And really, when I looked at the video, yes, it was of a character dancing. Obviously, the focal point was put on that it was on her butt.
Suck.
The character in question is wearing grey pants.
Yo, appreciate too. The character itself, yes, the character was mostly clothed. It just happened to be that, basically what they were wearing was this really interesting take on sort of like a swimsuit. What kind of was designed to look like a swimsuit to some extent, at least from the bottom, like the waist down. And yeah, it's not any worse than Stellar Blade. So I don't understand that, because essentially Eve could wear an outfit that makes her look like she's entirely naked, just about. And so it's just a strange take to have after previously being okay with another game that is arguably just as bad or worse. A lot of people bought. You can't deny that you were on the side of a lot of people that bought Stellar Blade because, oh, hey, the main character is hot. So why didn't you call out the lustful intent surrounding Stellar Blade? Why have you not called out the lustful desire people have had over, a character like, your precious Lara Croft, the original depiction of your precious Lara Croft that has been clear for a long time? This is just a very strange take to have after your previous stances. It's just, it doesn't make sense. As much as you want to pretend that this does, it just simply does not.
What the intent of the whole question was, right? Because here's the thing. There is a side of the anti-woke that are like me and are like, hey, I don't want perversion in our media. I don't want this to seep through our mainstream media. When they ask the question, is this what gamers want? No, I don't want that. Just like I don't want the queer stuff and I don't want the gay stuff, right? I'm not forcefully taking this stuff out of existence, but I am shaming it. Just like I do the gay stuff. Because it poisons society. So I do the same thing with this. Now,
no, she's still not addressing the reality, and I hope she does at some point. But she's still not addressing the reality that you were fine with this up until now with different games. So
as a Mormon, so long as we ain't sexualizing kids, I really don't care. We are no different than our mortal men, so who am I to judge?
Spectre, I appreciate the 5, and yeah, I mean, look, man, I'm not really, guys, do I ever really talk about sex? Am I ever like as much as you guys say I'm the goon queen, am I a gooner?
Didn't the Tomb Raider have a cheat for nudity?
I don't think so, Chartard. I don't believe so, but I appreciate the 2, brother. I could be wrong because I didn't really engage in that when I was playing those games. So I can't really say for sure. He was just about to talk about this. Oh shit, brother. So she was on Steven Crowder's show. Do you think she may be putting on fake sauce on for buzz and controversy or more traction in political news media career potentially? To fall in line with, I guess, the more I don't know, like the bigger heads in sort of right-wing media, maybe? I don't know. It's just, it's hard to say. It's hard to gauge because, like, she's all over the place. at least the past 5 years that I've known of her. I don't know exactly how long I've known of her, but since I've known of her, she had already become very generally religious and whatnot. Like, she's just kind of all over the place. She's not been consistent at all. And so it's kind of hard to gauge what this new move is, when we've all come to the conclusion that far left leaning ideological bullshit in video games is like, people have made a stance that we don't want this shit anymore, and these games keep failing. So at some point, that shit is going to get toned down. So we're noticing that there's an end to this shit, coming sooner or later in entertainment, and a lot of people believe we've already kind of won that war, in terms of entertainment and media. So this seems to be like a new stance to take, I guess, a new enemy to fight in this situation, because the enemy that we've kind of had, or we've come together to stand against, sort of deal, sort of bag, is now at like a very all-time low in terms of people that want to side with that. So maybe this is creating a new enemy, something else to make content off of. I don't know. I haven't been a content creator for a long time. I haven't felt the need to have to pivot from what I do. So, she's been doing content for a lot longer than me. I don't know what this is exactly, other than her being a hypocrite.
Now, again, people are like, oh, well, what about, I'm like, I didn't say. My only experience with this game that I have seen has been people posting cleavage shots, butt shots, and camel toe shots. And the question was, and there's another side of the game, or anti-woke side, that says that have been against the queer stuff with us, with me, and why perhaps they think we're on the same team is probably because we agreed on this. So they were loud and proud speaking against the queer stuff, but it's like, oh, wait a minute.
Because all the gay, the LGBT related content being shoved into video games doesn't appeal to like 95% of the human population. That's why everyone's like, hey, this doesn't appeal to us. Like, can you like get it out of video games? Because having games that promote this is not a popular thing to do. So like of course a lot of people are gonna be like, hey, people that play this game aren't looking for it for this. Then you have the reality that the very mass majority of people are into heteronormative behaviors. So of course, like, they're going to be like, hey, less of this and more of this. Like, that it's almost like common sense. And you think someone like Melonie would understand this, being one to, I guess, be, pushing to take a lot of the LGBT propaganda and nonsense in video games, to advocate to get rid of that, right? Like, you can understand, you think that she would understand, being someone that has taken that side for so long. But it's just weird how all of a sudden, like, just playing dumb.
You weren't against the queer stuff for any sort of moral reason. You were against the queer stuff because you weren't attracted to it. But you still want something equally as perverted, but just something that you are attracted to. Then it's like, hold up, I don't relate to you.
Well, how can you argue that if heteronormative behavior leads to reproduction? Like, you require, in order for the human race to continue, it requires that, a huge portion of society believes and engages in heteronormative behavior. Like, there's a difference, It's like, non-heteronormative sexual behavior does not lead to basic reproduction. So, like, there's a reason that you want the mass majority of society to have, men and women have sex together.
God said humans' purpose in life is to procreate. Men being attracted to women is in our DNA. What God is against is when we don't control our impulse.
Absolutely, Wild Dog Gamer Boy, appreciate the 5. And that's a fair take, absolutely. So, it's just really strange. Like, to deny one's impulses, uh, it's not being honest. I think that it's, while I think that some behaviors definitely go overboard, like any situation can go overboard, just because a dude happens to post a video of a chick dancing and has the camera on the chick's ass, I'm not gonna sit here and cry about that. I don't think it's particularly like, is it like silly? Absolutely. And there's a lot of people that she hasn't had issue with that would purposely do this out of spite just to make people mad. So like she's now falling into like that leftist crowd that would be mad about men sexualizing women. So like now she's falling into that same crowd that's also butthurt about it, which is just going to encourage more people to post like over the top videos or pictures just out of spite. Like, bro, I was live streaming Stellar Blade and doing that shit like on camera just because it was gonna, like, just because I know makes people mad. Like, I chose, like, in the demo, I chose the outfit where she's practically naked and played through the demo with it because, yeah, I know this is gonna make some dick face mad. It's literally could be that basic.
That's not me either. And let's just talk about what is one of my arguments against the queer and the gay stuff that they keep adding.
It's official. You suck.
She wants Christian reproduction. Lights off, pushing the separate beds together on your birthday with lots of shame and praying afterwards.
That automatically just made me think of the Flintstones. Because, like, prior to, like, what, the 60s or some shit? It was actually required. It was actually required that when you depict couples, like married couples, that they would have their own beds, like on, each side of the room. So, like, if you watch stuff like old films like Rebel Without a Cause, you see, Natalie Wood's parents in the film, like their beds are separate, like shit. Like there's actual rules and stipulations for that kind of shit. You couldn't actually depict married couples having one bed together. Like that kind of shit was like a no-no. And the same thing obviously with the Flintstones. I mean, I don't think that that's bad for like a kid's cartoon, perhaps. You know what I mean? Like I don't necessarily oppose that in a kid's cartoon, but it is silly in the grand scheme of things. But thank you so much for the $5, brother. I appreciate you, homie. I've never had an issue with her, but this is annoying. I hate how hateful she is, and her using God as a shield to be rude and spiteful is not Christianity. And Sonia, I agree with that too. I never really, like, did I think that Melonie was a bit on the extreme side? Absolutely. But did I personally have issue with her? No. I was even featured on Saturday Night Hypnosis, where she was the featured person for that podcast week, and I didn't even have a problem with her. She kind of came off a little bit like an airhead, but I gave her the floor, and it was a good stream, and I think we all had fun. We were on live stream together, and it was cool. And I even pulled up for Kata and Trace's new Blackstreet live stream where she was the guest, and it was a good stream. Like they were having fun. They made the joke Melonie mac and cheese, and it was a sexual joke, clearly from the sound of mac and cheese being stirred, and she didn't seem to have a problem with that. It was definitely a bit edgy and perverse in nature, and she didn't have a problem with that kind of joke either. So I just don't understand. I don't understand this behavior. I don't understand how all of a sudden, this is bad. Like everything that she's done in the past prior to this is completely just a 180 to now this sentiment or this stance that she's choosing to take. And it is essentially, it's fracturing her community more than anything else. Shout out to the Munsters, man. I love the Munsters.
these games keep tanking. They lack substance because these perverts, these queer perverts, want to insert their ideology into the game instead of actually making a good game. So guess what? They crash. Well, you know what? Same thing happened here. Here you have a game where the main focus and selling point has been driven by perverted reasons. And so, yeah, okay, here you had a peak of 264,000, and then now it is at 9,000 concurrent players. It dramatically dropped. Let's be real. If we're going to call Dragon Age the Veilguard a flop, this too is also a flop.
What do you consider a flop? Just because the game fell off? And I don't play the First Descendant, but I've heard actual people who played the First Descendant and their thoughts on it. And for example, one of my best friends, Sod Viper, who is a Muslim dude, mind you, he played the First Descendant. He was really excited for the game. I remember him being, he was playing the fuck out of the beta, and then he played the fuck out of the game, and he was like, yeah, just like most other live service games, the content went stale very fast. He had gotten everything there was worth getting in the game relatively early on, very quickly, and he said the game was super easy, and it kept getting easier. Like, essentially, the devs kept making the game easier. They were promising certain types of content on these particular times, and that promised content did not come through. So there's a lot of reasons why this game, and I can't give you all the reasons, but I know people that have given me a lot of different reasons that don't include Melonie Mac's reasoning for playing the game. And I'm getting this information from people that actually do or have played the fucking game. So I suggest, Melonie, if you want to have an honest take, just maybe talk to people that play the fucking game, so that maybe, you can get a genuine honest take, because this is just an assumption. This is just an assumption. This doesn't actually break down the issues with the game and why there isn't as many people playing the game as day one, even though day one is always going to have, like, massive amounts of people, or week one more than anything else. So yes, that there's way more to it than basically the picture that she's trying to paint here. First Descendant is fun, however, it's the grind aspect at the beginning was horrible. The content was lacking. They're improving it since, though. And a lot of people have been saying that. It seems as though, like many other live service video games that aren't quote-unquote Gooner bait, the First Descendant had struggled. It seems to have been struggling, at least to, I don't know if recently this has changed, but has been struggling to keep up with content, with enough content to satiate players. And another thing too, I've heard that, some of these skins and whatnot, a lot of them seem to be expensive. They're definitely pushing the sexualized aspect of the game, but there's more to it than what she's saying. Apparently the game lost 96% of its player base within 6 months. And to be honest with you, there's a lot of games just live service related, not sexualized, that the same exact thing happens. And a lot of time that is not necessarily because of what she's saying. A lot of time that's simply because they can't keep up with how much content the audience is consuming. Yo, Big Claw was good, homie.
Just because you are attracted to it doesn't change the fact. And as a gamer, I keep seeing the gaming industry and video games as a whole hijacked by perverts, people who want their ideologies in the game. So when you have the gay stuff, you also have another branch of perverts, who the Gooners, if you will, who are watching a ton of pornography, and they want that inserted in everything in their life, and they also need validation. You know how the alphabet...
Apparently, accepting reality that heteronormative behavior is the norm, all right, that is the mass majority of society. Apparently, that's propaganda. It's so weird, because it's like, We know why the mass majority of men that watch Melonie watch her. And so my question is, like, will she address that? I mean, we know that she won't, but if you believe in what you're saying right now, would you address the reality that how would you address the reality that a lot of men watch you just because you're a woman that isn't ugly? Yo, Pixel, what's good, my man? He says she's wearing makeup, so her case is closed out the gate. Damn. And my man Pixel, is a very religious man in his own right. So I do find it interesting that there's a lot of layers of hypocrisy on this front.
Community, LGBT, all that kind of stuff. You know how they're always screaming for validation. Not only if you are against them, if you are against their ideology, they want to crucify you. They not only need you to just be like, oh, whatever. They need your validation. And they can't cope with you being against it. And I have seen this same vitriol with the Gooners after Goonergate. So I not only, like,
It's not the same. That's completely wrong. Nobody's demanding that you play these games or support these games or, you know, whatever have you. They're just asking you, hey, like, if you don't like it, fuck off. Like, there's a difference between, hi, we want to ruin your life if you don't actually endorse, you know, the LGBT, leftist-leaning
She's
ideology
such a
video
fraud and
games.
a hypocrite. Look at her older tweets. She tweeted support for White Flag Rainbow and Lara Croft's sexiness. Only now she's a saint. Fraud.
Yeah. And a lot of things she currently does kind of makes, you know, you say like, hey, this is not genuine. Clearly there's a lot of shit here that either has fallen through the cracks of her brain or just she just wants to ignore outright. But thank you so much for the 5, bro. It's a very grifter's gonna grift. And look, I don't like to now grift. Just calling everything grifting is like, it's annoying because that's a term that obviously has a meaning. But now that everyone that you disagree, like if someone disagrees with me, that's automatically, oh, you're just a grifter. It's like, what the fuck? Like, how do you not believe that I actually don't believe what I'm saying? Grifting has lost its value. Yeah, because it's been so just thrown out there at any point just because of general disagreement. So, yeah. And she's not a grifter. She's a true believer. Oh, man. I'm a grifter, too. We're all grifting, man. Holy shit. Everyone's a grifter.
I can't, they want me actively promoting this stuff. Or
No, nobody's asking you to promote it. But don't sit here and act like you weren't shitting on a huge portion of your audience just because you don't like it. Nobody's asking you to promote it. You chose to promote Stellar Blade. You choose to fucking cling to Laura, old school Lara Croft nipples. You're doing this on your own. Nobody was demanding you to do this shit, but now all of a sudden you're changing.
Betrayed them because I am against it. They need validation for what they're doing and what they're promoting because it's perverted. And they deep down, some of them may be in a more reprobate state, but deep down, you know it's perverted. And that's why they need the validation. That's why you have to have pride parades for gay people and troons people cutting their body parts off to try to...
Why are you comparing like a good fucking huge portion of your audience to what you deemed as your enemy for years? Like, bro. Yo, Vince, thank you so much for the 20 with the sticker saying you are amazing. I'm just me, bro. I appreciate that, though. Thank you so much, brother. Like, stop doing this. It's like, clearly she doesn't want to try and meet in the middle with the people that has this disagreement.
Melonie wants to nail herself up on a cross now that she's born again. Let's start a GoFundMe to buy her lumber so she's finally happy.
Mr. Tickle Trunk, thank you so much for the 5, and it seems to be the case. Stop, like, if you want to try and meet in the middle, you wouldn't immediately, like, take this huge portion of your audience that disagrees with you on this and then immediately compare them and put them in the same group as what you have deemed as the enemy for like a decade. Like, you wouldn't do that. Clearly, it's like either you see this my way and you abide by my rules that I choose to change whenever the fuck I feel like it. Otherwise, you are the enemy. That's clearly what I'm getting here.
To pretend like they're the other gender. That's why they need whole parades. That's why they need a whole month to celebrate. That's why they need to see it plastered all over every store in the month of June, because they have to work so hard to create enough validation that will overcome the sense of shame that they feel deep down because they know it's wrong.
No, just like you, Melonie, they're just grifters too. If it be for time, if it be for validation, if it be for audience, if it be for social standing, they're a bunch of fucking grifters too. And the companies that also are promoting this, yeah, they're just doing it. It's proven that they're doing it for the sake of just going along with shit. You know why? Because now that the culture is changing, they're now ditching a lot of the shit. Look at Facebook. Facebook was pretending to be all into that shit. But now that the culture's changing, they're ditching it. It's that special investor money that they're looking for. But now they're noticing that shit don't work. It's either choose the investor money or die as a company, and that's why they're making a change. It's not genuine. This is genuine. You can't say that heteronormative behavior isn't fucking genuine. And to compare that to your audience that's just like, hey, I want to play these games. And I like these games and I want more of these games. You don't have to like them. You don't have to play them. You don't have to support them. But don't shit on me for playing what I like.
And so you have that same demand from these
Bonkers,
Gooners
absolutely.
to create this more validation than the shame that they feel for being pornography brained. Now you have certain people who know that it's wrong and they're trying to do better. And hey, God bless you. Read the Bible, seek Jesus. Only he can help you. And I say this to the queer side as well. And I have the same stance on queers as I do these Gooners.
It's official. You suck.
She ain't grifting, she's genuinely this dense.
I mean, she's stupid to a certain extent. She's a bit of an airhead. But when it comes to making money, I don't think that that's... I mean, I think that this is... I don't know. I feel like there's more to it than, hey, she's just an idiot. I think that at some point that can become an excuse. What exactly this is in terms of how she's choosing to behave, I can't really completely say for sure. But I do think to some extent that there is obviously a level of grift to this, because this leads to now a new fight that can be had for the next 10 years. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's how I feel personally. Something to argue about, something to make content about for a long fucking time. This is clearly the shift that's being made. So you can't ignore that general reality either. So it's a grift shift. Could be.
Is that, hey, yes, what you're doing is shameful. Yes, I think this stuff is shameful and I don't want it in my entertainment because it's shameful and it's hurting society. It's disgusting and it's perverted. No, I don't want it. Do I think that people participating in these activities are losers?
Yeah, Tyler was good.
Yes. But you know what? It doesn't mean you have to always be a loser. Have I ever been a loser? Have I participated in activities that made me a loser? Yes. But I have sought Jesus Christ.
But you still engage in those activities that would technically make you a loser by your own definition. you still live in the sin that you're deeming that is a sin. So I don't I don't get that. I don't know, man. This is such a weird stance to fucking take, man. Like, holy shit.
And I walk with Jesus Christ, and it is walking with Jesus Christ that gives me the strength to avoid and to overcome temptations that if I were to succumb to would make me
You do succumb to.
a loser. Okay? So that's the thing when I talk about the Gooners, all this stuff. It's not from a place that you're never going to amount to anything. But it is from a place of, hey, what you're doing and what you're promoting and what you're normalizing and what you want normalized in society and in video games in general to desensitize people is perverted. It's hurting you. It's loser activities. Now, there's all these what about.
How can you determine that?
Official. You suck.
I mean, Melonie is being a loser right now, TBH.
Thank you so much to you, Devastator. And I think this is definitely loser behavior. I mean, how can you, if there's a married man who works his job, that has his children, takes care of his children, he meets all the needs of his responsibilities around him adequately. And then when he's done with work, when he's done with parenting, when he's done with husbanding, he sits down, launches the First Descendant, and plays as the very character she took issue with on Twitter. I mean, how would they fall into that? Like, you don't know what's going on in people's lives to be able to determine that shit. Now, obviously, any addiction is no good. When he's done, he goons respectfully. But to just simply say, hey, if you play this game, then you're a loser, you're a bad person, your life is fucked up. Like, this is a very, very, like, you're just making an assumption. And there's definitely people that play the First Descendant, I'm sure, that definitely need to be doing something better with their lives in terms of, hey, you're not taking care of this responsibility, or hey, maybe you should be doing this because it's important to not just you, but the people around you. But guess what? There's also people that attend church so obsessively that they do neglect things going on around them too, that are their responsibilities. And there's there's so many different examples of this.
With all due respect from one Mac to another Mac, sincerely, go to hell. You don't decide who's a loser and who isn't. This moral puritanism is disgusting.
Yeah, look, man, I don't really want to pass judgment on people because I don't know what's going on in their lives. I don't know, I don't know what would make them better, but if they ever do confide in me, I definitely give them my attention. But you can't force people into doing what you think is the right thing. And it's not fair to do that. And really, at the end of the day, I'm not going to sit here and determine just because of what you're playing if you're like a responsible human being or not. Because there's so many different examples that don't include quote unquote Gooner bait material that people are choosing to turn to instead of taking care of their responsibilities.
Just let Jesus take the wheel and say some dumbish lady. I'd rather be a loser than a preaching hypocrite. I wonder what Jesus would think of her holier than thou attitude.
Yeah, Nissan, appreciate the 10, brother. Yeah, I just don't think that. I think that if you really want people to turn to Jesus Christ and turn to the Bible, I don't think that what you're doing, in my personal opinion, I could be wrong, but I don't think what you're doing is actually helpful in doing that. If anything, it's making people think that people who are religious, that are Christians, are lunatics, because you do portray that to a lot of normal ass people. And if anything, you're making it harder for people to see your side. So I think that that's something you should certainly consider in this situation, especially when you're talking to a lot of your own audience, has been your audience for a long time, and essentially turning on them while also being a hypocrite. And that's something that you can't really deny.
Outism.
All right, Dante, see you later, brother. Appreciate you. Taco Tuesday sounds awesome.
What about Lara Croft? What about this? Don't pretend. And so you're either coming from bad faith or you are delusional because you are so desensitized from women because you watch so much pornography that you can't even see a woman without thinking of pornographic things. Lara Croft, she's created with a curvy body type. Curvy women exist each and every single day. There is nothing wrong with that. And the reason why the woke side tries to remove female curves is not for the intent of even purity purposes, because women are curvy. That's reality. Not every woman is curvy, but there are lots of women who are curvy. And so when you have a character with some level of exaggeration of those curves, then it is exaggerating their femininity. There's a difference between exaggerating the femininity of a female character versus exaggerating the character for entirely lustful purposes.
She doesn't get it. This is an insane level of cope. She's choosing not to get it. There's no way she's this stupid. She does realize that Lara Croft was created by men. A character that was created to primarily sell to boys and men. Most of which, the mass majority of which, would find her relatively attractive. It seems as though by her commentary on the First Ascendant, that particular video that was pushed, it seemed more than anything else she had an issue with essentially the person that made the video the way that they did, putting emphasis on the character, the female character's goodies, being her ass as she was dancing. A lot of other men feel exactly the same way about Lara Croft. Have done a lot of the same shit with Lara Croft. You can't act like they don't fall into the same category. The reality is they made a sexy female character with Lara Croft in order to sell this attractive woman to an audience of mostly men. Because whether you like it or not, attractive women sell, sex sells, attraction generally sells. And Lara Croft, whether you want to be honest or not about the conversation, falls into that reality. That is crazy. Bro, the mental gymnastics right now is fucking insane. I wonder if it could get any worse from here. Absolutely, Duckman. It is appealing to your audience, understanding what your audience is and giving your audience what it wants in order to sell a product while also making that product worthy of purchase. That's literally what that's how Tomb Raider is born. Bruce says Melanie's vid is definitely not helping Christianity. Instead of people talking about knowing Christ, they're calling Melonie a hypocrite and fighting John Trent and Dread Roberts online. Absolutely. They're taking away from the conversation overall. There could have been such a better way to go about this. Instead of essentially now attacking your audience and comparing them to essentially what even your own audience kind of stood against for a while. Bandit was made by a woman that knows what men want.
Now, Lara Croft was a character who was curvy, feminine, but you play those classic games and you show me anything that was lustfully intended, right? Show me anywhere where Lara Croft acted like a slut, because she didn't. Show me anything, because it's not there.
You don't have a problem with that. You have a problem with how men see the character. And you cannot deny that if men have seen Lara Croft in the same way they see the characters in the first Descendant, you cannot ignore that reality.
Tomb Raider has substance as a game. The character design was really good, artistically speaking, and aesthetically pleasing to the eye, but was not created in a way to incite lustful intent. It was,
But that was what Lara Croft as a character created. Whether it was intentionally like that or not intentionally like that, it happened either way.
Lara's bobs got bigger with each game. GTFO here, Mel.
Yeah, like this is you're not making an argument that's even remotely genuine here.
here's an attractive character that you can acknowledge as an attractive character, but it wasn't created for lustful intent in the same way that a game that, here, let's pose this game.
It was made for monetary intent. And the intent was to make money, and the developers were like, well, what makes money? Attractive female video game character, lead of an action video game franchise. That's literally how they definitely pitch this shit.
Game where with the characters are all wearing lingerie, like, excuse me, that is not the same thing, and you know it. Be genuine for once. Let's not play here, and let's not pretend that I want characters to be made ugly. Beauty comes from God. God created beauty. Yes, I want to see video game characters that people create be beautiful as well, but I don't want them to be perverted. Beauty and perversion are two different things.
Then why haven't you called out people that have turned Lara perverse? Like, depictions. People have taken this character and have definitely how do you say, like, perversified it. All of a sudden now it's a problem. People just want to ignore the elephant in the room.
And I think what has happened with society is it has promoted perversion. It has celebrated.
Lara Croft is a fan fatale for Christ's sake. Even Jesus is face
Sake.
right now.
Yeah, it's like whether you want to be honest or not, Lara Croft is a sex symbol. She is a sex symbol. And she's one of the greatest sex symbols in gaming. One that instantaneously, hey, let's talk about sex symbols in gaming. Lara Croft's one of the first mentioned every time.
So it's artistic and aesthetically pleasing if it's something that Melonie likes, i.e. Lara Croft, Stellar Blade and Marvel Rivals, but games like TFD is only lust and perversion. Melonie is the last person to talk about genuine.
Aren't they, like, is it really a thing? And I'm not completely sure by this. I'm only going by what people are saying. But is it true that certain skins in Marvel Rivals lead to having females having bigger assets if they choose to buy the paid skins? Is that true? It's true?
Expose.
Oh shit!
Expose. Ooh.
It's true?
Expose. Yeah.
How can you stand that then?
You expose,
How can you stand that game?
You expose. If you got no games, you expose, bitch. You expose.
You paying for the extra biddies, man.
You expose,
How can you sit here?
Bitch. You expose. 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 If you play the way, nigga, you expose.
That's kind of like, bro, how can you deny that you paying for the extra biddies though? Cause I see some crazy. You love the song? Oh yeah, this is that's a Chrome Side classic by the First Descendant Skills. Like, clearly they know that the biddies sell on Marvel Rivals too. So to kind of stand that is it's an interesting take too.
Perversion. We've had this live and let live type mentality.
We have.
Don't
And you
kink
engage in it.
shame. Don't shame people's sexualities. They made up an entire concept of sexuality that isn't real. God created woman for man. That's it. There's no other sexuality. Anything else is a perversion of God's creation as per the Bible.
Okay, so why does this argument even exist to begin with? Because you're basically shaming heteronormative behavior. This is like, and while, it's like, bro, at the end of the day, if you're gay,
It's
if you're
official.
bi, you do you, I don't
suck.
give a shit.
If God gave the world T ideas, AZ and curves, he would not intend for us to forego their use. Go forth, and plant fruit or whatever.
But like that doesn't even pertain to the converse. Like what she's saying literally goes against what even her stance is. Just because it's perverse doesn't mean that it isn't literally what you're describing here, or what you deem as perverse. About to be driving. Nah, definitely don't be texting and driving, Dax. Be safe out there, brother. Did she address that she defended Stellar Blade, but so against the First Ascendant? Yeah, it's just you. How many videos were on Twitter of people posting Eve's biddies, being all extra and shit, knowing that was gonna make someone mad, and she ain't say shit.
It's official.
Come on, dog.
You suck.
Wasn't man naked until we ate the forbidden fruit?
I believe so. I believe so until Eve's stupid ass was on some fuck shit. Yeah, I swear, women are the worst, man. And Adam's dumbass listen, like. Oh my god. Wait, you're gonna keep going into her? What, Eve? Or Melonie? Hey, yo, Cars, are you good, fam? Are you good, bro? Yeah, there is like a lot of false framing here to try and justify an extreme position that makes Melonie look hypocritical. No matter what she wants to say here, it's like, bro, you're still being a hypocrite. But you got to be honest on that shit. Just admit that you're changing your stance now. At least that would be an honest take, because this is dishonest. This is dishonest because you're being hypocritical and you're taking out on your audience that you had fooled
It's
into believing
official.
something
You
entirely different
suck.
that you believe in.
Here and loving the vibe, red heart never change, smiley face.
Oh man, I appreciate that, Mr. Tickle Trunk. Look, man, we're just here to have the honest conversations, And there's people that I always invite people even that disagree with me. You don't have to agree with everything. We can have a conversation. Yo, man, what's good with you, homie? Because like I said, I found hypocrisy now. Yeah. Millie Mac has a lesbian lover hidden somewhere. I don't want to jump to any of those types of conclusions. I don't like to. I mean, obviously, people can speculate, and you're free to. But I'm not. The thing is, I don't want to blatantly disrespect her, even if she chooses to disrespect me or disrespect you guys. I mean, I'm not trying to do that. I just want her to be more honest. And I want to point out the fact that she is inherently being dishonest.
And you know what else is perversion of God's creation is when you're substituting, if you're, I'm going to use a male as an example, if you're substituting a wife for a pixels on a screen, that's perverted. Your sexual gratification is supposed to come from your wife. And if you are seeking alternate sources, seeking those sources for sexual pleasure, you are acting in abomination and perversion.
So just because dudes like what they're seeing on the screen automatically means they're doing more than just looking at the screen? Yeah, your otter brain is fried, my brain is fried. You like it, so therefore you're a pervert.
It's official. You suck.
Let he who is without sin cast the first stone.
Absolutely censored. Absolutely. This is, yeah, like, bro, you're denying reality. And my thing is, like, at this point, because you want to act like you're completely, how do you say, like, you're with God, you're doing what God wants you to. Why are you not married? What is what are you doing
It's
that's
official.
keeping
You
you
suck.
satiated?
What about women that like the eye candy too? XD.
Devastator, I don't know, bro. I don't fucking know, bro. What is keeping you like happy right now that you're not in a marital religious relationship with a significant other? Like why how are you happy in this current state? You hope she gets remarried, maybe she'll show the fuck out. Absolutely. Or maybe she'll just have like, you know, like goals, things that she needs to do, because apparently I don't think that she hit the wall. I think she's perfectly capable of getting a husband. Um, there's definitely plenty of guys out here. It's not necessarily how she looks, it's how she acts. She's not an ugly woman. Eve is cute and all, but I have never used her as a replacement for a wife or girlfriend. Just a replacement for boredom for a few hours. What a dumb thing to say. Absolutely. Just because a dude likes what they see on in terms of the female form doesn't mean that it's taking away from their personal relationships or whatever have you. Um, if that's the case, it's already being done even before. Like, basically, video games are definitely an addiction for a lot of people, admittedly even for me. It does it take away from potential relationships or things that I could be doing instead that could be considered more how do you say it, like, productive? Absolutely. Absolutely, but at the end of the day, it's my fucking choice. I mean, like, I go out, I fucking have a job, all right? I pay my bills. I take care of my responsibilities, and then on my free time, I choose to play video games. And if you don't like that, that's too fucking bad. So, that is what it is on that.
Simple as that. And anything that is created with the intent to make you do that is the same. And I ain't just here saying it's just guys doing that. Women do that too. There are actual Gooner games for women. I have seen them. I have seen people post them.
Oh shit.
Unabashedly.
You
No.
suck.
Oh shit.
If God didn't want me to touch myself, then he wouldn't have given me hands. Bring on the Goon Oils gang.
Yo. Post goon oil in the chat, guys. Post the goon oil. Yeah, get the goon oil out, baby. Yo, Death Star was good, homie. Oh man. And grift, you spend time on the YouTube grifting. Oh shit, really. Oh man. She looks like a scene kid from the 90s. Oh my god, no. Purports to be a Bible thumper. How is she gonna find a husband? I don't, like I said, I don't think she's an ugly woman. I think she's perfectly capable of getting a man. But I think really what probably, at least if I had to guess, what holds her back is likely more so her attitude and her personality. Yeah, absolutely, Zero Dozer. Like, we've already established that she is indeed divorced, but I don't think she was very religious back then, sort of like turning to religion for the sake of dealing with that situation. So, with Christianity, it's not that, hey, you're not allowed
It's
to sin.
official.
It's
You
more so you're
suck.
going to sin.
I really hope her fans and subs actually take a moment to realize that she's acting holier than thou, which is clearly not making them nor Christianity good in any way.
Yeah, exactly. She's being a stuck-up Christian bitch. That's really what it boils down to. And that does not make her religion look more appealing to the people that she's criticizing. And so, yeah, like, Christianity is the reality that you are going to sin, but the idea of you're going to sin, ask for forgiveness and repent. That's sort of that is the general. So technically, she committed a sin by getting divorced and returning to religion to essentially reach out for forgiveness and repent. That's the general sentiment that I see when it comes to that situation. I think that Stalker messed her up. I mean, arguably, I think that would mess anyone up a little bit. You know what I mean? At least looking over your shoulder, a lot of anxiety over that kind of shit. Because I do recall that situation. And that's that's nasty. That's definitely some nasty fucking behavior. But to take that out on other people, I think is wrong. Gonna take a break later. Hey, appreciate you being here, Scooby Pup. Have a good one, fam. Yo, Serge, we're getting into this whole Gooner gate thing, man. You know why divorce costs so much? Because it's worth it. Damn.
No shame. There are games that is usually of the romance novel variety, and you have a bunch.
Stank Bro says, no cast Christianity's belief that Jesus is God and he died for our sins. Absolutely. That is basically the premise, but also the premise of a what I'm talking about. So that is basically what Christianity is the basic belief of. But obviously I'm talking about the actual person who is Christian, what they're supposed to be doing. That's essentially what I'm discussing, not necessarily the premise of the overall belief system, but more so what you as the believer are supposed to be doing. Like, that is inherently what you're saying is like, yes, Jesus died for our sins, and God knows that we are essentially all going to sin, and he sent his son, his only son, to save us from our sinning. But as a goal would be Catholic schoolgirl Cassie and Fortnite. But essentially, it's the reality that you are going to sin and that God sent his son to save us from our sins. But then the goal from a Christian perspective is that, hey, God knows you're going to sin, but you make mistakes, you acknowledge your mistakes, you ask for forgiveness, and then try to do better. That's essentially like your goal as someone who is a practicing Christian.
Bunch of male suitors, really attractive male suitors who more so you're not going to see as much. It's going to be portrayed in a little different way when it's meant to appeal to women, but it's still equally as perverted and equally as disgusting because it's trying to elicit the same reactions. So you have these suitors, and they try to, as the female player, they are trying to seduce you and win you over, and you know, the goal here with these games is for these guys to be whispering sexual things in the player's ear and are going to create a fantasy, a sexual fantasy for said player. Again, that is not God's design. God's design is for a woman to have said pleasure from her husband. So if she is seeking outside sources for sexual gratification and pleasure that is not a husband, then she is committing a perversion.
So, Melonie, why are you playing video games instead of getting a husband? We're wasting time! The clock is ticking! What happened? This is just crazy. No, we don't want Cassie games here, okay? No Cassie games. I don't want you guys looking at my in-game character gooning off to it, okay, damn it? Levistra says she really needs to read 1 Corinthians 10, the Pharisee. I need to read it, to be honest with you. I wouldn't know. She's indulged in playing a lot of these Gooner games in the past, as they would be called. I have to wonder, did you get any gratification, if it be sexual related or some sort of in lines of that? It could be argued that perhaps you're guilty of this too, and it may not be true. You could say, oh, I got nothing out of this whatsoever. And that could be true as well. But the fact is that you're just making this assumption about dudes, so why can't people just simply make this assumption about you too? It's just Felina Farrell cast? Hell yeah.
Whether that be a visual novel like that, whether that be a book,
Alex is the
without a
Antichrist
purpose,
Devastator. You
or
guys
whether that
goon
be
off to
even
him all the
just a
time.
video game, like any regular video game, if that is what she is using that game for. So let's not pretend that some of these games don't purposefully try to elicit a sexual gratification out of the player.
Well, they're trying to make money because sex sells.
She acts like Twilight and 50 Shades don't
Twilight,
exist, rolling
oh
on the
man.
floor laughing.
Rappa, thank you so much for the 2. She's saying that all that shit is just bad. And she's saying that even romance novels or video games that cater to women's tastes or fantasies, she's saying that all this shit is bad. My thing is, you engaged in a lot of this same fucking shit that you're now saying elicited these behaviors from these groups of people, but you engaged in some of these same exact games that did the same exact thing, because sex sells, and you engaged in a lot of these games that clearly acknowledge that reality.
It's
so
official. You suck.
I told you it was worth it. This video is wild.
this is
Rolling on the
Nagalik.
floor laughing.
Nagalik, you have you know, I need to ask you from now on, because I like to react to videos and know as little about them as possible. I'll get like a general premise a lot of time, but I didn't even watch the video. I just asked Nagalik, I'm like, think this is worth reacting to, this would be interesting. He's like, oh yes, definitely. So shout out to Nagalik for confirming that this stream should have happened. Appreciate you, dog. Good content. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it.
There is a strong difference between a character being made to be aesthetically attractive, just like we can appreciate art, versus a character in a game that is designed to create sexual gratification out of the player. Okay, I know a lot of you aren't even going to hear what I'm saying, and you're still going to be doing these whataboutisms in my comments because you are so defensive.
No, because you're a fucking hypocrite, bitch. You're a literal fucking hypocrite, and everyone's calling you out on it. You're being absolutely 100% dishonest, and everyone sees it. Everyone's calling you out for it, but they're the bad guys. Fucking hilarious, bro. fuck out of here. You're going to have to bite the bullet on something here. You're going to have to admit that you've committed, all right, an act of sin in this situation, and now you want to change that. You're going to have to admit to that.
You suck.
Women who talk this much need to just stick to making me sandwiches sandwich.
Yeah. Yo, Mr. T. Daniels, thank you so much for the 5, brother. I mean, I would hope that her sandwich making game is better than her cope game right here. Holy shit.
But hey, maybe some will listen. Same with like the queers and all that. You ever see how it just sounds like you're arguing with demons? It's the same way. These demons have a hold on these people and they can't be reasoned with because they are so engulfed in their perversion. And what they don't realize is that the satisfaction they think that they're getting out of their
You suck.
Yo.
The Pharisees focused on their interpretation of the scriptures, which is why Jesus gave them shit but didn't shame the sinner. Mary Magdalene and the woman at the well. Jesus would have roasted her.
That's facts. Levistra, appreciate you voicing that, man. Those are good points, brother. And it's good to have religious, like, people who do actually practice and you know, chime in and give their general thoughts, because they know more than me on a lot of this shit. So I appreciate that as well. I appreciate different perspectives really chiming in. So thank you. I appreciate that, Levistra. You think Barry Manilow knows we use his song? She is Christian, yes. But she's going to have to, in the very least, admit that she's been a hypocrite in the past. Like that it is what it is. Like, you can't have your cake and eat it too, bitch. Like it doesn't work that way. As much as you want it to, it don't work that way. You can't fucking sit here and pretend you haven't engaged in this behavior or for a long time been okay with it.
You suck.
Demons are cool. Praise Satan. Get the XY at CVS.
Yo. Thank you so much for the 2, Lord Metroid.
perversion is just self-destructive. It's like you want to tell somebody to stop doing drugs because they're hurting themselves, but they cannot hear it. And it is the same thing. A lot of these gooners that are mad, and it's crazy.
I mean, everyone, like, bro, I'm addicted to video games. I'm sure a lot of people here are addicted to video games. Now, do I let that get in the way of my job? Do I let that get in the way of me paying my bills? Do I let that get in the way of friends? Do I let that get in the way of family? No, but all the time I really, really, really want to play video games. Especially when there's a game that I like. But like Call of Duty, dude, I don't get to play Call of Duty nearly as much as I want to. But all the time I'm like, yo, I wish I could be home to play Call of Duty. Especially when I'm at work. So like there's always this, I really want to get back to doing this on my mind. Because like naturally when I'm genuinely passionate about a video game, or like I'm really having fun with a video game, like I can't help but want to play it as much as I can.
Oh no, if you look
like
at
I'm
the word
6.
Christian, my face is nowhere near it according to her. I'm a forking dragon and I goon. Speaking of which, no milk, cake, or Kool-Aid. Cass, I'm fucking disappointed.
I mean, bro, like, she's the one that would offer the milk, cake, or Kool-Aid, and apparently now that's a bad thing, brother. I don't know. At least I've been consistent, dog. I ain't doing nothing that I haven't always done, sir. But yeah, a lot of people, it's just weird because it's like you want people to jump into what you believe is the way, the path, right? But this doesn't encourage people to do that. It does the exact opposite. And we've seen many decades of this kind of stuff. We've seen essentially like a revolution in the 90s of rejection, of extreme rejection. It has made so many millennials outright, absolutely 100% reject religion. And a lot of that is because of people just like her, really just trying to beat it over people's heads. So, wish the con file was smaller. Yeah, I hear you with that. You ain't lying. Golden Apples, thank you so much for being a member for 5 months, brother. She's on her own side. She is on the side of the religious tyrants, and trying to control what you say, what you do, what you watch, what you goon to.
All these Gooners that are mad at me because I spoke out against, no, I don't want this. That doesn't fix the gaming industry. People think that, oh, make all these characters
Rogue Attraction was good, homie.
Make them all naked or half naked or in lingerie. Make all the female characters in lingerie. And that fixes everything. No, it doesn't. Making good games fixes everything.
Yes, I agree with what she's saying here, but under her entire premise, there could be a video game that is an amazing video game through and through. The game is 10 out of 10 in terms of gameplay, in terms of story, in terms of characters, in terms of just everything presented. The enemies, all that shit, the visuals could be fire.
Suck.
She's past her prime, her milk is sour and cake all stale and nasty. And no Kool-Aid. I want fresh. Give her 400 cats and dusty tunnel.
Oh man, holy shit, brother. I mean, look, I'm not gonna sit here and say that Melonie Mac is ugly. I don't think that she's ugly. I think that in terms of at least visually her presentation, what's ugly is her personality, is the type of person that she is. That's really what is ugly about her more than anything else. But what I was saying is there could be a game that is perfect, essentially. It is a great video game from every genuine perspective that a gamer wants. But if it presents females that are deemed sexy and generally revealing, then she would turn that down as well due to what she deems as her excuse being Jesus and the Bible.
TF too heavy, why not both good game and eye candy?
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. And to be fair, like, the First Descendant definitely deserves criticism. Like, I've heard a lot of people give genuine criticism that play the video game. And, yeah, a lot of that criticism falls in lines of they're not doing what they need to do as a live service.
Robot voice. He.
Just I appreciate the too, brother. Well, you got the robot voice. So, that's what it is. Like, that is essentially... Would she be technically strawmanning? I guess so, because you could have a perfect video game, but if they have the characters from the First Descendant in terms of how they look, she would reject that too. So this isn't an argument to make. This
Making games that actually have substance and quality fixes everything. And
But
I'm
that's
going
not
to
your
tell
argument.
you, if you actually look at a brilliant and artistic mind who can create a masterpiece, typically they have respect for their work. And as a result, you're going to see that portrayed in the characters that they create as well. So are you going to find a perverted game that happens to be a masterpiece? The chances of that are almost non-existent because, again, someone even capable of in the first place of producing a masterpiece is going to respect their work enough for that not to happen. Just like look at movies. If you compare a masterpiece of a movie to pornography, I keep saying corn because of YouTube monetization stuff.
Because gotta make that ad revenue, baby. It's not just about what I believe in. It's about making sure I get paid for it too. Yeah, the logic is wild here. This is completely disingenuous. This is just making an assumption. A dude could be like, hey, I'm gonna make a genuinely great video game. From a gameplay perspective, from a story perspective. And guess what? I'm also going to make female characters in a video game visually be appealing to what I deem as a man, as a heterosexual male developer, what I deem visually attractive.
She's intimidated because she's Flatsville and Paran.
We'll be sure. Thank you for the 5. I don't know. Maybe Melonie feels as though video games are taking away from essentially her ability to engage with men. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. I think that there's definitely a lot of men that are addicted to video games. And I'm also a female that happens to be addicted to video games for a huge portion of my life. I remember being a child and my parents bought me well, essentially I was gifted from Santa a PS1 when I was like 6 or 7 years old. My parents saw how I couldn't fucking like
It's
I
official.
couldn't fucking put it
You
down.
suck.
So
I lust for Jesus and goon with a cross-exorcist style. The splinters are a hassle, but I'm able to goon guilt-free, so it's worth it.
yeah, he saw. Thank you for the 5. Holy shit, TMI dog, TMI. So my parents saw that I was too young to be able to
It's official.
manage
You suck.
playing video
So the
games in life.
developers of TFD don't have any artistry nor respect with their creations. How dishonest are you, Melonie?
This is all just an assumption. It's just this has to be true in order for my argument to make sense. Like that is basically she's just trying to connect dots that aren't actually based on fact. But she needs this to be true in order to support her claims. Like basically my parents saw that me as a 6 or 7 year old, I couldn't, say, hey, I need to stop playing this game because I have work, I have school, I have responsibilities. Like, no, like they said, hey, you're only allowed to play on the weekends. During the weekdays, is for reading, is for schoolwork, is for, like general things, responsibilities you have to take care of. So like they instilled, that work ethic in
It's
me because I was too
official.
young to
You
say I
suck.
need to put this down.
Christians trying to force Jesus in public schools.
And you know what? I think that's where it gets a little bit weird because public schools do a lot of shunning of Catholicism and just Christianity from what I've seen. So I think that there's a back and forth with that. Where I don't think that some people that are in charge of public schools are fair to Christians. But I could be wrong on that too. I feel as though they seem to be a little weird about Christianity specifically. So there's that too. I really just think that people that want to practice their
It's
religion in
official.
public school should be
You
able to do that,
suck.
but also
She was on
respect other
side
people around
scrollers
them.
multiple times. They have $50 B00BS super chat. Big one's eyes.
So they goon when there's a big dono that's dropped on side scrollers.
It's official. You suck.
She does realize Lara Croft was gooned in Tomb Raider 2 ending shower scene, nude in advertisings, and that jacket on her LC figure has a naked woman on the back in game. No. Some Tomb Raider fan.
Yeah, she conveniently ignores a lot of shit. So they on side scrollers they goon when there's a big dono dropped. That's essentially what they're saying, right? That's kind of crazy. And so she stays quiet when she's around people that she generally likes for whatever reason. If it's to gain their audience, or if it's just generally because that she, happens to like them. For whatever reason, right? So apparently she just stays quiet in certain situations where she should technically speak up, right? So yet another example of general hypocrisy here. So
Have you ever in the history of your life seen something actually taken
go to a
serious
Christian
where
school,
somebody
might
was
too.
like,
That's good.
wow, this pornography movie? My mind is blown by how insanely good the plot was and how the story, just that plot twist, the story just left me thinking about life and just, it changed me on a spiritual level. No, that doesn't happen.
But what you're deeming as what falls under pornography, as she's calling it, like you're lumping in examples that don't classify as pornography at all. What do you think about Blood of the Dawn Walker trailer? Multiple people have sent me and I still haven't watched it yet. I'll check it out tonight though. I'll watch it for the live stream that'll be Thursday, so I'll let you guys know what I think about that. They show different ladies with very big boobs for 50, 100, and 150. Do they have consent from these women by chance? Haven't seen her on side scrollers in a while.
Because it's not art, it's perversion. I want art. As somebody, I appreciate art. I'm an artist myself. I love to draw. Like, I care about art. And people are like, people make jokes and act like, oh, what kind of stuff have you drawn? Like, what? I bet you've drawn like perverted stuff before. It's like, literally no. Like, when I was a little kid, you draw body parts and stuff as a joke. But literally no. It's just like, you know what? I haven't. And I'm not saying everybody who has can't be an artist. They can, but that's not from an artist. That's like a fleshly outlet.
What you deem as art and what other people deem as art can be completely different. Like, I remember being in music class in school, and my music teacher said, all right, nobody talk. And basically everyone was silent, and basically there was
It's
stuff going
official.
on outside. I think it was like
suck.
lunchtime, so people were
I have
outside
one
being loud.
example that dismantles her statement. It's a gacha game called Goddess of Victory Nick, and it has fan service with a very dark and well-written story.
Okay. But to her, that wouldn't be considered art. So my thing is, like, what you consider art is one thing. What she consider art is another thing. But you can't sit here and say what art's, like, what is considered art, what's not. You can't dictate that. You can't police that. But Makini, thank you so much for the 10. So my music teacher said, hey, everyone be quiet. And so we were quiet for like 30 seconds or something, and there was like stuff going on in the background outside of the room that we were in.
It's
He's like, yeah, that could be
You
considered music
suck.
too.
Okay, now you made it personal, Melonie. I'm an artist, by the way.
Oh yeah. Makini does awesome drawings, by the way. Fucking awesomely talented. Definitely, you do your thing, so shout out to you for that. But like, the whole point was what is deemed music. There is no rule on it except, hey, what do you think this is? Do you think this is considered music or not? And everyone's thoughts on what's considered music or not is different. But that general sentiment is what you consider art, Melonie, and what other people consider art is different. And it's fine for you to have your opinion on that, but you are not the arbiter of what is considered art and what is not considered art. You just have your preference, which is fine that you don't want to play these games and you don't consider them to be what, up to your level of standard. And that's fair. Just simply don't play them. But to sit here and deem other people as bad inherently because they like these games, they play these games, they support these games, they deem it as art. You happen to just be Christian. You're not Jesus Christ. This is not your rules to make at the end of the day. So I think that you have to come to terms with the reality that your opinions versus others, like, you can have that opinion if you want to, but a lot of your audience doesn't hold that sentiment, and you shouldn't be browbeating them for it because you sound like a
It's
fucking
official.
a
You suck.
hardcore leftist.
The former Justice Scalia and Catholic-ruled video games are art. It doesn't fail the Miller's test. She can wish she can suck Dragon D-Law's BH.
Yo, Mistra Wallen, y'all trying to fucking, y'all really going in with TTS today. Holy shit, brother. Appreciate the five. But yeah, like, at the end of the day, you can't browbeat your audience with what they deem as art. It is what it is. It's just an L that you're gonna have to take.
It's like a perverted outlet, right? But when it comes to actual art, fine art, and I am I can be a bit, I don't want to say an art snob.
You
but
are. You're being a snob right now. Whether you want to admit to it or not, you're being a fucking snob. Was this made for rage bait? Did she just make it for engagement? Of course she knew that this was going to get engagement. This is one of the most conscious arguments within her own community. So there is a huge amount of people that are going to watch this either in support or very strongly against. Hey B, what's good, fam? But yeah, like, she knew that this was going to get engagement even weeks, because she decided to make this weeks after the conversation was had, after the argument was had, and she knew that even despite that, it was worth making. So obviously this is for engagement. This is like something that her audience is like, essentially banging heads on. Yeah, I'm good. Had my coffee, so I'm feeling like a human being, and we're basically smacking Melonie Mac around for being a browbeating bitch. So It's been an interesting conversation thus far.
And especially my work with it not, I'm not saying that my work should be hung in the Smithsonian, but I'm just saying
Clearly not.
the amount of pride that I take in my work because I genuinely care about art. I feel like if I were to draw some smutty picture, would be perverting what I want to develop as my talent.
And this is personal to you, which is, once again, this is not wrong what she's saying, but the problem is when you try to police your personal beliefs on what you think is right and wrong, other people and art, that's when you become wrong. You're free to have this opinion, you're free to have this rule with yourself, but you can't dictate what other people have by your subjective opinion. Like, well, she claims to be an artist, TB, and if she is, that's completely fine. But this is, once again, you're trying to police people with your subjective opinion. That does not work.
So at the end of the day, when we want good video games, which are an artistic medium, it's really difficult and almost impossible to have a masterpiece that is also perverted. That is, here, we're going to throw this in there directly for the people who want to lust after it.
There's a lot of people that could have been lusting for a lot of religious art pieces, though. There's a lot of nudity and a lot of art pieces, like historical art pieces.
It's official.
So
you suck.
Wait, so what you're saying is that because of the art I do that I don't take pride and passion and dedication into it? F you.
Yeah, by her subjective opinion, sadly, that's what she thinks. And, you know, I'd say, Makini, don't get upset by it. You know, you do what you like, and it makes you happy. And there's always going to be people that are going to bitch and whine about what you do. And bitch and whine that I play video games, bitch and whine that you draw the type of art that you do. And at the end of the day, fuck them. Continue to do what makes you happy, and don't let what they're saying get you down, upset you. Obviously, voice your disagreement and why. But you know, I understand that this is definitely like bothersome. Like, it's gonna get under your skin. But I'd say try not to let that happen. You know, she's a Karen Christ. Oh man.
Let's make this completely with the intent of making the player lust and feel sexual desire for it. That's already corrupted their work. That's corrupted the work already. It is what it is. So, no, I will continue to speak out against them deliberately defeminizing female characters. And I will continue to speak out against them deliberately emasculating male characters, for example.
So what she's saying is there's like, basically she's going to go at both sides based on her own subjective thought processes that are very subjective, because she will make concessions for you know, the most sexualized version of Lara Croft, but the first descendant characters are bad. So at any point, she could have a problem with you. It don't matter. And that's based on just when she feels like it, basically when she needs content. That's what this sounds like to me.
And I don't think the answer to fighting back against this perverted stuff is to make women ugly. That's not the answer, because if you teach men that you can't even look at a woman unless she's ugly or you're going to be gooning after her, that's not practical, and it's also just like weak.
But what you're saying is like, these people have to walk this really fine line that you yourself have established that isn't an overall rule. And it just, at any point, this fine line could not be walked on, and you're gonna have a problem with it. Like, it's just really, this is a really weird stance to make. Like, this is why either you can be for the censorship or against it, because at least that is like, hi, this is like a side that I'm taking. And I take the side of being against censorship, and I kind of just let people rock with things that even I don't necessarily like. Because hey, this is the side that I'm taking, to be against the censorship, to be against like fucking attacking people for the things that they're into. I don't even play the first Descendant. I don't particularly care for the characters that are in it, but I'm not here to be like, oh, you should be ashamed of yourself for liking this. No, because like at the end of the day, you like what you like and I like what I like. But I want to support creators being able to create this content, because clearly it's what a lot of people do want. And a lot of her own audience wants this, and she's here to, you know, basically attack her audience that she has created, you know, for a long time, standing with them on this same subject. Yo, Gooch was Gucci, homie. Appreciate you being here, brother. So this is just like, you're not going to find common ground on this, because now you're creating essentially like this mental gymnastics, like rules that nobody's gonna follow. Like nobody gives a fuck what you think at the end of the day. In terms of creators, they're just gonna create what they're driven to create. Period.
So here's the difference. It's one thing to say, okay, here's a character that's built to be attractive, which everybody is going to see attractive people in their life. But what separates a person from an absolute loser is that they can see an attractive person and not lose their minds and need to go take a break and run to the bathroom, you know, and touch themselves. Like, let's be real.
How are you're making an assumption. You're assuming that dudes are doing this. What the fuck? Bro. Absolutely. Yeah, she's calling dudes losers for liking these female characters, and is assuming that all the dudes that are posting like chicks' asses on Twitter from video games, fake, you know, female characters posting their clearly of age female asses on Twitter. Apparently they're all fucking wanking to this shit. All of them. That's a crazy assumption that most of the people that support these games are doing that. That's crazy, bro.
I was actually gonna plan this to be a lot more.
And the way that she's laughing it off is making it seem like she knows that what she's saying sounds ridiculous. You know, that's how it comes off, the way that she's essentially laughed at that statement, because it is ridiculous. It is a gross assumption of a huge group of people. Your ex was doing that? Oh, meh. Did you feel some type of way about it, B?
More articulate, and I just turned on the camera and just started talking. And this is where I'm at now, so I don't know how coherent this even is.
It's official.
She's admitting that she
You
even sounds
suck.
ridiculous. Uh-oh. I think you guys broke TTS at this point. Levistro for the 5 says, wait, was Mel touching herself after watching the first Descendant? That's quite an assumption unless she does it. Someone needs to go to confessional. Sus. It is definitely a sus assumption. Does she know someone that personally does this? Yeah. You're late for the gooning. You're a little late, but we're still here. We're still gooning forward. I did. It was weird. I was weirded out for real. And if you don't feel comfortable with that, that's completely fine to not feel comfortable with it. So maybe we're just chilling, man. We're just we're just having a discussion. It's a one that a lot of you guys are very passionate about. Gooning to Cass. Oh shit. Oh my god. But it's been very interesting thus far, and Melonie Max so far is definitely crashing the fuck out on a really, really weird, completely subjective opinion that she's going to essentially be very judgmental, very I don't know, like just be like a very authoritarian on this really subjective bullshit opinion that she is a hypocrite herself of.
As a whole, and I could talk a lot more, but I gotta be cautious or like careful or
Gotta make that
cognizant of
money
everybody's time.
and make
But
that
I'm just
money.
saying,
Make sure this gets
let the record
monetized,
be
baby.
straight now, and you can unfollow me if you want. I don't care. I didn't make this channel just to pander to people. I made this channel because I was already burned by a lot of the corruption. I've already seen a lot of the corruption in the gaming industry. I've seen a lot of the perversion and some of the perversion that I defended. So
She admits she's a hypocrite? Did she just admit she's a hypocrite? She admits she's a hypocrite. This is a positive turn right now. Okay, Sen, maybe you should shut the fuck up. You're being extremely judgmental of the thing that you are also guilty of. You're essentially saying, hey, you were doing some of the same exact shit that you're now saying the people that disagree with you right now are now your enemy. This is bro, this is a fucking crazy crash out video. Holy fuck, bro. That's insane. Oh my god. So essentially, you admit that you're guilty. Bro, I'm just trying to like word this. So essentially, she's been saying the whole time that essentially, if you disagree with her, you are no different than the enemy. And the enemy to her is the LGBT mafia. The people that are very authoritarian in what they're doing. And essentially, she's being authoritarian, but for the exact opposite side. And she's admitted to being a hypocrite because she in the past has also defended the thing that you're standing with. But you're also an extremist authoritarian if you disagree with her. This is, bro, we're all over the fucking place right now. She has not had a coherent fucking thought in this entire video. She is just crashing the fuck out. Crazy, bro. I can't even put it into proper wording how all over the place she's being. Vistro for the 5 says, let it be known 21 minutes and 33 seconds in, she's invalidated her whole argument and wasted our time. I think it's entertaining watching her crash out. Or at least I hope I've made it entertaining for you guys. So I think that this video is insane and we're pointing it all out. But this video is a waste of her time, waste of her time first and foremost. It is a waste of our time that we even have to have this discussion. But I'm at least glad that she's admitted that she is a fucking hypocrite. I could be gooning right now. Everyone could be gooning right now. I could be gooning right now. You can't see it, bro. Bro, you can only see here up. Who knows what I'm doing when my hands are down here? Who the fuck knows?
I'm not here acting like I'm better than everybody.
You were honest for 2 seconds and then you just go back to being a lying cunt. Oh my god, you were almost there. You almost had it. She was honest for 2 fucking seconds and then immediately went to being a lying cunt. I can't, bro. This is crazy. She almost had it. She was right there.
It's official.
Jesus.
You suck.
Yo, Mr. Tickle Trunk, thank you so much for the 2 says. Every $2 she gets Buzz gooned it up, chat. Gooned it up, chat. Oh my god.
It's official. You suck.
Thank you so much for the $1.50 super chat for the hot dog. Oh my god. We were almost there. We were almost there.
I'm here from a place now of knowing, okay, I can't support this. Because Jesus Christ changed my life.
Jesus is the excuse for the lies, the deception, the bullshit.
It's
The Bible
official.
is an
You
excuse.
suck.
Thank you so much for the $1.50 hot dog. Super sticker, bro. Grifting her goons, absolutely. She I guess wants to grift off a way more niche audience, but you are actually acting like you're better than everyone else. That is what you're doing, and you're
And he
farming
can change your
off
life
of
too.
your current.
I don't care if you had 1,000 screenshots of these games that you were jerking it to, or if you lived a gay lifestyle, or whatever it is. You can be saved through Jesus Christ. You don't have to be a slave to this. So let that be known.
But you actually have to be heterosexual in order to fall into what you're you're in support of.
You suck.
Monarchy for the 10 says, I'm not on here to say I'm better than anyone, except that you are and you're using Jesus as an excuse and a shield. Why should anyone believe a single thing you're saying after this video? And I agree with you, Monarchy. I'm not here to say I'm better than anybody.
You suck.
I don't think I'm necessarily right, but I want to give people the platform to be themselves and for us to have a conversation. That is definitely what separates personally me and Melonie Mac. It seems as though that she thinks only one way, and a lot of that seems to change over time. Censor for the 5, thank you so much, brother. Says, fun fact, do you take the Lord's name in vain? Actually refers to using God to justify your actions, not swearing. Oh, I didn't know that, Censor. Thank you so much for the 5. Levistro for the 10 says, I could be jacking off to a game right now, gooning over cake milk, but no. I have to hear stale cake, sour milk on a stream with no cake or milk nor Kool-Aid. I'm going to play in Irog? What is Irog? The first descended perverted me. Oh man, Levistro's a pervert now. Oh man. Appreciate the 10, dog. But yeah, you can't act like you can't sit here and act like you aren't being holier than thou. All right, it is what it is. This is a stance you want to take. Just own up to it. You almost were there.
So
This shit is still going, Brandon. It's
shamed
insane.
the activity.
But
Well-
not everyone, bro. You're trying to act like everybody who plays this game is fucking wanking it to the game. I'm pretty sure, and I'm making an assumption too, but I bet that the mass majority of dudes who have been playing this game have not been wanking it to the game. They haven't. If anything, a lot of people that are posting a lot of the content and like kind of taking like sexualized videos, like the one that she was using as an example, I'm sure that a lot of them were just doing it because they know it's going to make someone like her or someone like the other side that are super left leaning, that hate the idea of men sexualizing women. It's just really to make somebody mad, and clearly you just fell into getting trolled.
But I'm not saying that everybody who's participating in it will be doomed to be a loser forever. They don't have to be. So it was important to me to make that
It's
abundantly
official.
clear.
You suck.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tickle Trunk, for the 2. He says, Mel's pretending to read men's minds. Feminist 101. Oof. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
It's official. You
The Bistro for the 5. Thank you so much, dog. He says, I'm a dragon. I'm automatically better than anyone. And yes, the Lord's name in vain is for as God as my witness, not bad mouthing. Elijah had a potty mouth. Oh, man. I appreciate that, dog. Thank you so much. And that's crazy. I've learned something. Guys, I've learned some new things here tonight. And I think that learning something new, man, that's what makes every day worth living to me. The possibility of learning something new. I appreciate that. I didn't know that at all. very interesting. Very, very interesting. Yo, we got a raid from my boy Lowest Expectations. Thank you so much, dog. Let me give you a quick shout out. My man Lowest Expectations, he is a gamer, man. He's out here streaming games. Today I was watching him playing Ease X. On the low. I didn't say anything because I was lazy. But Lowest Expectations is the homie, and I definitely want to give the man a shout out. So if you want to watch a gamer keep it gaming, who's also definitely the type to be the live and let live sort of deal. He said it's goon time. Yeah, let's go check out my boy Lowest Expectations. He's a good dude. He's a small creator that definitely puts in the work. So that's his YouTube right there. Appreciate the raid, brother. Hope you're doing well.
Because some people had the impression that this is something that I defended. And I have in the past.
You have. Yes.
So I have.
Yes, it's not the impression. It is the reality that you have done so, and now you are a hypocrite. So don't, like, you're trying to act like, hey, you know, this isn't necessarily true, but it is. It's like your wording is just poor here. Brandon, thank you so much for the 5. Says, Cass, some people you just can't reach. Some people just can't change their stripes. I am tired of this whole thing. Put it to bed. And I agree with that too. But I think it's important to call out the hypocrisy. And you don't have to, you know, you could be over it. And I completely understand that. It's completely fine. And it's your right to do so. But I definitely, like, because a lot of people, like, my thing is a lot of people want to lump me in with people like Melonie Mac, where clearly there is a strong difference. Yes, I oppose a lot of woke ideological shit in it, in being forced in video games, and that being something that the mass majority of gamers don't want. The being forced to put political ideology and propaganda in video games is something that I've very, very sternly stood against. But people like Melonie Mac that are ultra religious trying to fucking police video games to essentially push what her propaganda is into video games, I very much stand against that too. I'm sitting here in the middle. I think both sides are fucking batshit insane. And I definitely want to make sure that people know that I am not like Melonie Mac. We are two totally different motherfuckers, bro. Period.
I have to differentiate myself from that as a Christian and as a creator to let people know that, hey, that's not me. That's not what I'm supporting. That's not what I'm encouraging. And that's not what I'm promoting. I want to call out perversion and things that I don't like.
She is telling you what her content will be moving forward. This is what she's saying. This is her content moving forward. And at this point, what she's saying is you have to make a choice whether you support this or you don't. But this is a change in her content.
Culture space, and that's why I have this channel. And whatever I do beyond that, we'll see, because I don't even know at this point. After Goonergate, I was like, well, if that's how everybody expects me to be, and that's the only substance of my channel is to hop on here and be like, oh, whoa, guys, look at that, we win, her whole butt's out, yeah, hot. That's not me. That's not going to be me. I would rather not have the channel at all. I would rather quit this channel and go full time with a leap of faith on my Bible channel. I am not doing that.
Then do it. Then do it. Then do it. That's what you're claiming you want. You're giving your life to God. So why fucking waste time on these things that you think are trivial in nature? Levistro, thank you so much for the 5. He says, looking at the video and Cass, I have to say the resemblance is uncanny. Cass and is Melonie without makeup. Now we know why she has long sleeves. Are you good, bro? Yes, it Are you saying that I hit the wall too, Vistro? Because I'm hoping that being half Puerto Rican will save my features at least a little longer. have decent genetics. I'm a misogynist whole women look alike, yeah. Yeah. I see you, Levistro. I see that low blow, sir. All right, but I'm not gonna make nothing of it. All right, I ain't gonna make nothing of it. But if you feel like you do not have passion, then go where there is passion. Clearly, you have an immense passion for your Bible channel, for discussing Bible ethics and all that. And I'm not opposed to you doing that, but clearly you're not. You talk about gaming, but it doesn't seem like it's out of passion for what gaming is, except for what you want gaming to be. And the mass majority of gamers don't agree with your sentiment at all. That's why you're getting such insane pushback, even from your own community. So you can try and fight this fight, but you're a loser in it. And you could say, well, I'm just going to do what my religion would want me to anyway. And I guess you could do that, but you're still wrong. You're still in the minority, and that's not going to change. You're actually just going to make people resent what you stand for even more. So you could say, I'm going to do what is right because your excuse being God, your excuse being Jesus, your excuse being the Bible, but you're going to make more, the way that you're acting is going to make more people deliberately turn very staunchly against God, against Jesus, against the Bible, because you're a poor representative of that. So perhaps maybe you should consider going to the other channel, taking that leap of faith, if you actually do believe in that, instead of this just being of monetary value to you. But I have to think that this is, you know, the money that's involved in this channel right now is too much for you to simply just walk away from.
I don't care if it gets me views, clicks, likes, donos. Don't care. I'm not doing it. I have credibility. I walked away from mainstream gaming industry. I got blacklisted from the mainstream gaming industry. Some of y'all don't know that.
But what you're expressing is that you feel as though you're going through the same exact thing now as what you went through back then. So why are you going to now choose going a different path than what you did before?
That was my bread and butter. That's what paid my bills. I was hosting for these companies online, even on television, at events around the world.
Yeah, it was pretty it was pretty
and
bad.
It's like,
was pretty bad.
Because of my outspokenness and because I spoke against a lot of the stuff that they push, I got blacklisted from all that. So I didn't walk away from that to just pander to Gooners. I didn't do that. I didn't trade speaking out against one perversion to promote another. I'm not gonna do that.
Nobody's asking you to promote these games. You don't have to. But to sit here and shit on people that like these games is not helping.
That. And so it's like, I haven't felt comfortable in this space whenever that's expected of me. And so it's like, I don't know. It wasn't
expected of you.
I don't know what I'm doing from here on this channel.
It wasn't expected of you, other than people assumed because of your stances in the past that you would be fine with this. But you clearly, you've admitted to essentially, hey, I have been a hypocrite. So you should have made this video should have been, hey, instead of basically attacking people, it should have been like, hey, I realized that in the past, what I was standing for, what I was defending was wrong. And that I have come to reality with that, and I'm changing. And you guys can either accept that or you can walk away from it. That would have been the honest conversation to have, because it's you making a fundamental change, because people in the past have assumed that you're fine with stuff like the First Descendant because you've been fine with stuff like Stellar Blade. You've been fine with stuff like Tomb Raider. OG Tomb Raider, in fact. So this is you making the change. They didn't change, you did. And now you're taking it out on the people that did make an assumption that you would feel the opposite way that you do feel about the First Descendant based upon your own history. So it's not their fault, it's your fault.
Oh, I don't know. Because I've just not felt the most inspired when it's like, wait a minute, is this who I'm supposed to be encouraging? So, yeah, I'm going to be trying some different things on this channel.
Told you
I'll
she's
still probably react
shit
to
is
certain
changing.
headlines and gaming news that applies to me. Like, oh, wow, we got a new Tomb Raider announcement or something. Even if I hate it, oh, look what they did. They made Lara Croft ugly. Like, I will speak out against that. But I really do feel like there's maybe a different direction I'm supposed to be in, and we'll see what that is. Maybe it's not completely just focusing on Bible channel. If it is, if God called me to that, I would do it. And I know God would provide for me.
Then do it.
But
Do it.
I'm still
The
going to
fuck?
focus on that
It's
channel.
official. You suck.
Hey, Nego for the sixth, quote unquote, I got credibility. Is that a hint of pride I hear there? She sounds like Claude
It's
Frollo.
official. You
Appreciate that,
suck.
brother. Death Star for the 2 says, robot voice. Melonie lacks self-awareness. Did I do a good enough robot voice? Because TTS broke yet again. I'm going to have to figure out what to do with TTS because Botrick's taken mad L's lately. So we're going to have to figure that out. I hope that I did a good enough job of replicating a robot for you, though. Appreciate the 2, dog.
But, you know, maybe it's just
God
changing
won't
some things
provide
up
for her.
here.
The Simps will,
I
though.
kinda wanna
Yo,
do-
Dante!
Some content like where I actually put a lot of editing into it and talk about a lot of things that from my perspective that require editing and more focus and than just turning on a camera and, you know, just talking for 10 minutes or in this case almost 30. So I don't know. And if that's the case, then it'll be less uploads. You know, I'm not gonna be able to upload 5 days a week as I used to.
It's official.
But we'll see.
You
And
suck.
Nissan 86 for the 2 says first step for her is to get off of Instagram and X. Stop providing that Gooner content, Melonie, even with yourself. That would be a good start for sure. Appreciate the 2, dog.
So just, you know, I ask those who are supportive of me to pray that God would guide me in the direction that I'm supposed to be, because I do feel like I'm at a turning point in this right now.
Oh,
it's
she's
like,
scared.
wait,
She's scared as fuck. She knows that this is very seriously fractured audience. Yo, it's not. What's good, my man? Hope you're doing well. And she likes Devil May Cry. Ooh, she does. Pray yourself, Airhead. She's definitely very scared.
I don't know.
This is a 30.
Anyway, thank you all
That's
so
pretty
much for
wild.
hanging out with me and hearing me out. Probably gonna get some people hating and who didn't listen to a word I said and who will have these rebuttals that I already even addressed in this video, but because they didn't listen.
We listened, and unfortunately, the way that you went about this video is just not just disrespectful, but just overall wrong. You did not take true accountability for your own actions. You didn't do any of that. You instead chose to
It's
really
official.
just
You
kind of make
suck.
that its own tiny segment of admitting you're a hypocrite, but then beat on everybody else for holding you to your past, to holding you to what you usually were okay with. Let me see. Yeah, guys. Sorry about the little lag. Seemed to happen for like a second. My bad though. Shout out to Lavistro for the 10. Appreciate you, dog. You said, didn't she have a stalker who wanted to kidnap and marry her and told her she shouldn't dress like that? Or was that TSWG? In any event, she should think how she felt and how we feel. And she did have a very, very strange stalker. I don't wish that on anybody, even my worst enemy. That kind of shit is creepy as fuck. She definitely had a very insane, super creepy stalker for sure. It's that's a situation in itself. Maybe that stalker has led her to kind of believe like some of this, but perhaps maybe some of her very own actions have led to, led to how this stalker is choosing to act. So yeah, there's that too. You paused at the right moment. You're not wrong. The divorce made her definitely, how do you say, like, stiffen up, make a serious turn, for what she thinks is for the better. And I'm not here to tell her whether that's the case, but now she's essentially taking her choices and trying to force other people to follow that. And that's not good. That's when it becomes, hey, you did what's best for you, but now you're trying to make it one size fits all sort of deal. B?
Put him in the fucking bathroom. Get him out.
We're putting you in the bathroom. You're right. Straight to jail. All right? All right, you perverts. You gooners. I'm about to become just like Melonie. All right? Y'all become extra because I said stiff. All right, dog. I'm putting on, the power of Christ compels you. Repent. Gothics went through something similar, but she's less preachy. Yeah, because I'm sure that Gothics understands that her audience wasn't about that, and that was like a personal change. And that she, like, by being all of a sudden like a super hard ass, that's not going to convince people, it's going to turn them off. Gothics is more balanced is why. Yeah, like, you have to be fair. Like, you have to make choices that's best for you, but you have to also take into account that not everybody is going to immediately follow suit with you just because you make that change. Sale hating, folks.
It is what it is. That's probably going to happen. But let it be clear, I stand with Jesus Christ, and I will not be
And that's just an excuse
allied
here.
with perversion. And I don't care. Oh, what about your friend here who is? What about I don't care.
Some people would argue that you're perverting the book itself to justify your actions. Some people could argue that because this is all subjective at the end of the day.
I don't care. I can still love them as people, but that doesn't mean I'm going to be promoting the same things that they're promoting.
Nobody's asking you to do that.
Is. So, what about what you said here? And again, I don't care. I don't care what I used to believe. I was born again.
And even while being born again, you were still being a hypocrite. So, B, are you good, dog? B is gooning off over
being
there.
Sanctified. Each and every single day, I'm still growing. Somebody asked that. And now that I even mentioned that, somebody asked that on this thread. They pulled up screenshots. People, oh, she's just a grifter because look at this. Look at this. In 2018, she was defending lesbians in this game. Okay. Yes, I did.
Ah, man. You need to chill
and then we
back,
have this
dog.
question. What?
Man, leave that woman alone. If she wants to goon, let her goon, damn it.
Changed the past few years since you were defending queer ideology? It's simple. Jesus changed me. The word of God changed me. If we want to sit and argue beyond that and just argue about personal beliefs, like,
no, they're using your words. You can't just sit here and be like, "Hey, man, I'm changing, and I expect you guys to change with me." That's not how that works. You are just Melonie. You're not Jesus Christ yourself. Man, cock blocking. Oh shit. And so, like, they're just holding you to your own actions, your own words. Why would you expect any less? Yo, Bikini Draws for 5. Thank you so much, Mamie said, I asked my chat to vote, and the option was leading. Leading is for me to not spend the time and energy. And, if that's the case, that's completely fine. Let's say do what you want to do at the end of the day, right? It's your channel, it's your voice, but hey, man, maybe your audience doesn't want it, and that's completely fine too. But maybe just not necessarily react to the video. Maybe just make a video just giving your take, just kind of to the point, little video. You know, maybe just get something off your chest. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to a lot of things that from your perspective, and also you give insight from a different perspective that a lot of other people don't have. So, you know, I think everyone has something to add to the conversation. And you should go for it if you want to, Makini. Appreciate the 5, though.
That'll never end. So, oh, well, then you must follow the Bible better than 99% of Christians. Well, and as I said here, most people who claim to be Christians don't even read the Bible at all.
That's true, too.
I can't even tell you, even with this Gooner Gate thing. Well, I'm a Christian, and I support this, and I look at their profile, and all it is digital pornography.
She's calling some of y'all out in the chat, apparently. Yo, Mr. Tickle Trunk for the 5. Thank you so much, fam. He says, how do you tell someone is born again? Just like vegans, wait and they'll effing tell you. You're not lying. They do have similar, they definitely have very similar perspectives, or just approaches, I should say. But yeah, who the fuck are you to assume that all of them are just obsessed with corn or whatever the fuck? Because I'm sure that there's tons of dudes out here that said that they're also Christian. And I'm sure you didn't look at all of their profiles, but you looked at the ones that maybe you looked at some of them and didn't see that. And then some of them you also looked at their profiles and saw that. I'm sure that there's both that exist, but you chose to acknowledge one. Unless they're Alice Cooper. Yo, Alice Cooper is the guy, all right? He's that guy. I fucks with Alice.
I'm a Christian. Hilarious how you can say, and you know what? I've been there, because not doing that, but I have been there where I used to be, oh yeah, I'm a Christian, but I was living in a way that wasn't biblical, or I was supporting things that.
But technically, you're still living in a way that's not biblical. You should be married. You should have children. Yeah, she's still talking to him, man. I mean, you have choices. You're acknowledging that you want to have choices by living your life the way that you want to, but then other people, Yeah.
That wasn't biblical. So easy to call yourself a Christian, but are you? And so I said years ago, I committed to reading the Bible daily, and it changed my life. I do live it, and I'm deeply repentant when I stumble, because I'm not going to pretend like I never stumble. That's the thing, is people think, you know, those of us who are against like this, that, or the other, does that mean that we live our lives and we never have temptation in our lives to sin? Does that mean that we don't even have those same carnal desires? No. Things like lust, gluttony, anger, hatred, all these things are.
Don't you very consistently engage in hatred? Yeah, there's definitely a lot of pride here, too. Definitely a lot of pride. Because this would be an entirely different video if there wasn't pride.
Are carnal desires that most people feel. But it's different when you act on it versus just feeling it. And that's why you can't get past this stuff on your own.
Oh,
you
no,
can't through your own sheer discipline
No.
overcome these things.
Oh,
you need
man.
Jesus. And when I say, okay, I read the Bible every day and that changed my life, it wasn't because, oh, I logically obtained information that made sense to me, which obviously it does, but it's so much further beyond that. And I can't explain it to people who don't understand that we live in a spiritual realm.
The amount of mental gymnastics in this video is fucking almost phenomenal. Like, you have to actually dumb yourself down to even, like, get here. Become vengeance, Cass. Become wrath. Oh, I love 7. 7 is fire. But yeah, there is a lot of there's some 7 deadly sins present here. Let's just leave it at that, all right? There's definitely pride involved here. There's definitely hatred involved here. There's definitely a lot of that. Yeah, the cartwheel and backflip mental gymnastics are wild.
And that we face spiritual opposition each
this
and every
is an
single day with
insane
everything
virtue
you do.
signal.
If you are watching pornography, you are entertaining demons in that moment.
The First Descendant is not pornography. It's not. You can keep crying that it is, but that's just simply the case. It's not.
So, yeah. So that's the thing, is when you fellowship with God and you read the Bible and you tell yourself, I'm going to read the Bible every day without
Can
exception.
we just ship her
that
to
is
the
you
asylum
actively
now? Oh,
pursuing
man.
God with the intent to grow. Okay? Like, think of the parable of the sower that Jesus.
Yeah, it's like, bro, shouldn't she, like, I really think that she should replace that statue, that giant statue, and honestly, most of these statues with religious depictions instead. Like, can we see, like, a big Jesus statue here instead? Like, I think that would be... That would be better. Because it seems as though you hold this character to an insane level. I don't know, bro. And get religious wardrobe? Maybe so, maybe so.
That Jesus taught, and how the seeds of the word are planted, and now some people don't have soil that will grow that because, and read this for more full context. Read the parable. But if you want the seed to grow, if you are seeking God, you have the soil that can produce, and that can produce fruit.
Your soil dry, bitch. I'm sorry. Your soil is fucking dry. All right? Fuck out of here, dog. I was trying to be nice, but your soil is fucking dry. Sit the fuck down. Yes, indeed. That shit is dry as fuck. That shit is hard. It's over. Fuck out of here. You need pour some Gooner oil on it. Yeah, for real, right? Holy shit.
It was the act of committing
The
to
soil is dry with you,
God
bitch.
every
Come on,
day
man.
is what planted seeds, and you see those seeds grow.
You suck.
Lavistra for the 5 says she needs that Jesus statue given the thumbs up from Dogma movie. Also, a sexy nun outfit. So what you're saying is she needs to dress like Bayonetta in the OG Bayonetta intro. Hell yeah, I could dig it. And yes, the meme Jesus statue thumb up, yo. Oh man, that was a good one. Appreciate it. Let me show.
As you continue to plant more and more and more seeds, and something as small as 1 chapter of the Bible a day before you go to bed. That's what I do. That's what I've been doing for years now. You will look back and see how dramatically that changed your life. I can't even stress. People are showing evidence of how much that changed my life. So much some people don't even think it's real. No, this is evidence. This is evidence of how much God changed my life.
Well, the problem is, Melonie, maybe this is true, but also people are noticing the monetary gain from what you're doing. So whether this is true or not, and I'm trying to absolutely be fair, even though there's some instances it doesn't seem like you deserve it. Even if this is true, because there is monetary gain from what you're doing, people are naturally going to doubt you. So that just is what it is.
I don't claim to be right out of wisdom. I don't claim to be right out of my opinions. I am following Jesus Christ. And I am
This is once again just excuse making here.
Official, you suck.
Nissan 86 for the 5. Appreciate you, brother. He says, God's seed was planted into my rear by our church's youth pastor. At least that's what he told me. hope that's not real. I really hope that's not real. There's not much I can say to that. There isn't much I can say to that, because if it's real, I'm obviously not laughing because that's like crazy. But I hope that didn't happen to you, sir. But that is something that definitely does happen to people out there. I have a family member that male family member that felt really uncomfortable in a church and actually had to run away from a priest in the past. So yeah, that's, unfortunately a very something that the church, at least through, when in regards to Catholicism has continued to not address. So Nissan, I can't laugh at that. It's a very serious thing. It does affect a lot of people. Like I said, I had a family member that almost was a victim to that kind of shit. And I subscribe to a lot of people I don't like Unforgiven. Before my Twitter got yeeted, I followed tons of people that I don't like and I like, and everyone else in between. Just because I subscribe to someone doesn't mean that I like them. I definitely try not to be in an echo chamber. But there's definitely people I think that are full of shit that I am subscribed to. So there's that. That's always been a thing. We'll laugh for you. Well, if you find it funny, shout out to you. But personally, I definitely don't want to be insensitive to that. Because imagine if I'm sitting here laughing and he's like, that wasn't a joke. That was real. Like, that actually did happen. It's like, oh, fuck. But, I didn't pre-read it. So when I read it, I was kind of like, oh, shit. Wow, I just read that out loud. Fuck. But yeah. Oh, man, you guys are too much, man. Y'all are too fucking much.
I'm a fool.
You
who
certainly
has
are.
been saved by Jesus Christ. So yeah. There you have it for this video. It's a lot
you a
longer than I
spy
thought it was
on
going
me?
to be.
Oh,
I don't
shit.
even know how many people are going to listen to it all. But the message is out there. I made my points known. Whatever I do from here, we'll see. I'm just trusting in God for his guidance. I've been so out of it with my routine ever since like the Gooner Gate stuff. And it's been really hard for me to find my footing since on what I'm doing.
Yeah, because you have received insane amounts of fucking backlash and criticism from your own community. Because everyone, besides like the zealots, all right, there's definitely a lot of zealots out there. And I will say there's people that are trying to be reasonable as well. But unfortunately, Melonie is not being reasonable. And you got an insane amount of fucking backlash in return for your take.
Because it really made
Got
me
it,
take a step
Kay.
back
YouTube
and think,
analytics.
okay, I
Oh,
need to make
shit.
sure that I am
me
more
see.
aware of how I'm presenting myself and what people think that I represent, because I do not want to anybody think I'm representing perversion.
Let's see.
So there you have it for this video. Thank you all again for watching. I'm gonna be back. I'm still gonna got my streams on the weekly, and we'll see from there what else. But I hope to see you.
But essentially what she's saying is she's going to become more fucking boring. How long was that video? It was 33 minutes long. But I will say this, she still gained 1,000 subs in about a month's time. And her video publishing this past month has gone down by like 50%. And so have her views, because she hasn't been uploading as much. So that's kind of the reality of the situation. But it doesn't seem like there was enough of a mass unsub to her situation. Yeah, there's a lot of rambling here. I apologize. The gooning has affected my judgment. I have placed myself in chat jail. Pretty much, that's what she's saying. Like, bro, she's like, I've been gooning for too long, and people thought that I was with this shit, and no, like she can't play both sides no more, is what she's saying, which is what she's been effectively doing, whether it was intentionally or unintentionally. And like I said, I'm trying to be fair, but she was playing both sides, either intentionally or unintentionally, and now she's saying she will not be doing that anymore. But hey man, if you're a gooner that watches Melonie Mac, you're not really wanted anymore. Clearly, she said, and go on and sub. And I guess you're welcome to sub to me if you want to as an alternative. I mean, shit, is what it is. I'm here to be honest about the conversation. Oh man. Oh no, Levistro. Jesus.
You suck.
Levistro for the 5. Thank you so much, brother. He says, Cass wasted 33 minutes of my life. I demand cake and milk or Kool-Aid as repayment because I would have wasted it anyways. Sir, I will not cave to you, sir. Okay? I must remain consistent. Unlike Melonie Mac, I must remain consistently me. All right? I will not change. I will not make the fucking, all right, the collar go lower for the sake of money. All right? No, it's not going to be like that. It will not be that like that here. I demand cake as well. Oh my God. Lindo, you have a whole fucking wife. Shit. What are you talking about here, dog? Fuck you. Fuck out of here. So did Melonie Mac hide comments? Let's see. Oh, there are a lot of comments here. Oh my God, one of the comments is coming from someone who has a pack of Newports as a profile picture. I think that's how we all felt fucking watching this video. Like, we needed a cigarette. Stop gooning to Melonie Mac and start gooning to Cult Classic Cage? Sure, yo. I appreciate that, dog. I appreciate that. Holy shit, brother. Look, man, we're honest here. We don't fucking bullshit around. But I'm definitely not going to change how I am to please other people. I don't know. Melonie definitely has changed a lot of things. She argues it's for one thing, but a lot of people think that may not necessarily be the case, and she's gonna have to take that L because she's chosen to be inconsistent. This person says mature games have mature content. Homie says, let's redefine mature then. As long as it's rated M, there shouldn't be a problem with sexy games. Yeah, and nobody's saying all video games should do this. Like, nobody's saying that. But to be like, hey, these games shouldn't exist because I have a personal problem with them, and I'm going to stand by my authoritarian ideology because my Jesus. Like, that's an excuse. Get our goon sticks ready. I mean, we got Goonie snacks. As you can see here, we got some Goonie snacks for you. We got some goon oil for you. There you go. Scroll down, cats. We're getting there. Yeesh, impose whatever limits you like on yourself where the games you play are concerned. Exactly. That's what we're saying. Like, you don't have to like this shit. No one's demanding that you do. Do not, however, impose them on anyone else. We're not annihilating left-wing puritanism just to embrace its political opposition. Be normal. Make your decisions, and the rest of us will too. Exactly. That's something that is completely fair, and that's actually a great comment. Absolutely fair, awesome comment. Make the player feel lust. Aren't you making the audience feel these things as well? With such suggestive makeup, chokers, e-girl attire, and etc.
I just snapped that motherfucker, bro. Oh, fuck!
He's spitting facts. Straight facts. Holy shit. Yeah, you're gonna have to reconsider how some of the things that you be doing. Laters. There's nothing wrong with attractive female characters in video games. And a lot of people stand about that shit. As a fellow Christian myself, I could say that you were and are being hypocritical. Exactly. It's something that you have to fucking come to terms with. You implied people were losers for playing video games you had defended weeks before. To say Stellar Blade is fine, but the first Descendant is for losers is ridiculous. Exactly. Dude, attractive isn't perversion. What kind of idiocracy is this? You can have your beliefs, but censorship is never a good thing. A Gooner screenshot doesn't make the game perverted, for fuck's sake. Tell us how rock music is bad and we should burn our CDs and tapes now. Yeah, like here's the problem. Like, we've already seen this go down, like, decades ago, and it didn't work out. Gooning in the shower is dangerous. Goon oil is slippery. Yo. Don't goon too much. That becomes a slip and slide. Oh my god. All right, Death Star, appreciate you hanging out with us, brother. Take care of yourself. Her comments are roasting her over an open fire. Yeah, this it ain't looking good for her. We're just going straight down the line. What's crazy is she doesn't actually. I guess she just avoided reading the comments whatsoever because she didn't bother to even like heart a comment that she liked from what I'm seeing here. Said there's nothing wrong with sexy looking characters as long as the game is rated properly. And I think a lot of people can agree with that too. Because there are definitely games that are rated M that children should not be playing. You're somewhere down in there. Oh shit. This is like 2,000 comments, homie. Said if you don't like it, don't buy the game. If that was the brand from the start, don't change it, and certainly don't lie about changing it. Lara Croft was a sex icon, so let it go. The most annoying thing in gaming are those who try to change what makes a game popular because they don't like it. And we've seen this time and time again from the very fucking developers that Melonie herself has criticized in the past. And she's doing the same thing, but just for a different political perspective. The first Descendant is not a perverted game. Anyone who has played it knows that. In fact, Stellar Blade sexualizes Eve much more than the first Descendant sexualizes any of the female characters. You yourself, Melonie, can go play the first Descendant and you'll discover that there's nothing perverted about the game. It's just a regular looter shooter. Just because someone uploads a screenshot of the female character in a video game doesn't mean that the game is made for the sole purpose of being perverted. And that's fair too. Like the way someone chooses to showcase a game isn't necessarily the intention of the developers by any means. But this person says this person is clearly disagreeing with a lot of things that she's saying, but he's saying, despite all that, I support you, Melonie. The only thing I advise is that before expressing an opinion about something, you first research the topic. It's not wrong to tell the truth and be frank, but in order to speak the truth, you must first inform ourselves well about what's going on, what we are going to talk about, and we will be giving malicious people the opportunity to attack us. Don't let this discourage you. Keep going with what you do, and you continue to be light and salt in a fallen dark world. Well, they disagree with her, but they still stand her, which is fair. I mean, you're free to do that. But she definitely does need to do more research and at least try to be more fair, because her stance is it's just out of pocket in many ways that we've discussed. Why did you promote Stellar Blade then? And a lot of people are going to keep asking that question. Mel, homegirl, we got to talk. I've been watching you for at least 2 years now because as a Christian gal myself who went through some similar drama things to you with my friends and family, I felt like you were a rare voice for girls in our community. And I felt exactly the same way, about Lara Croft in the direction of Tomb Raider and how men and women have felt off and weird in AAA games for years. Since then, no girl, the vibe is off. I don't want to unsub because I really think what you are doing for Tomb Raider is important. No one else is holding Crystal Dynamics accountable for ruining Lara Croft for a whole generation of girls. But we really got to stop telling boys off on what they do with their tallywhacker. I know, but no. It's not up to us to lecture men to be what we want. They like what they like. It's normal. And making up all these crazy new words like Gooner to describe what? Just normal teenage boy behavior, ain't it? And I think that one thing that women need to come to the reality to is that, like, you can raise a good person that happens to be a guy, but you can't raise a good man. You have no idea what it is to be a man or to be a good man. Like, for example, if you have a child and unfortunately you don't have, the father is not in the child's life, you could raise a good person, but you as a mother cannot raise a good man. You don't know what it's like to be a man. Period. No matter what kind of shit like you want to try to say to justify it, that you do not know how to raise a good man. Period. And you have to come to that reality. And Melonie, you don't have that ability to tell, to be able to tell a male how to be a good man. You don't. Just like a man doesn't know how it's like to be a woman either. Exactly, Dark Hex. 100%. It's taken out of context. The player is able to put the camera on anything in the game. Where your argument falls apart, the same could be said for Tomb Raider games and movies. Conflating a bikini with corn is where people disagree. 100%. Yo, Reezy, what's good, my guy? So I used to whack my tally and goon to Lara consistently back in the day. Yo. Yeah, back when she was purposely created with sex appeal, right? Like intentionally. You know, back to the version that Melonie supports and likes over. Yeah, anyway. All right. If the developers of Tomb Raider had the tech we have now, Lara would have been looking like a character from the first Descendant. Yo. Let me see. I want to see if I can finally reach Rose comment. Oh my god, this person said, never heard of that game before. Thanks. I'll try it out tonight. And I think that's very telling of the situation. She has done nothing but convinced a lot of people to go against essentially what she's promoting. I don't think that a lot of people that have previously been, not really into the whole religious shit, none of them are convinced to suddenly, hey man, I gotta think about what I'm doing here. Like, no, you've essentially made them rebel easily. Just like we've rebelled for years against the forced ideology that's being shoved down our throats in video games. Like, we've rebelled because there's this authoritarian push to get people try and force people to conform. Otherwise, well, you're bad. We'll try and ruin your life. Blah blah blah. Like, this doesn't work, and you've acknowledged how it doesn't work, but yet you're still feeling as though, hey, I should do the same thing that what I criticized for years, but I'm right to do it because this is the side of what I deem as correct. That's the problem. Sorry for disagreeing, Melonie. And it's a shame that people have to apologize for disagreeing. Like, sorry, not sorry, bitch. Like, but the main problem here is the censorship. If the game has been labeled with M, is a mature person who goes and makes a decision to play a radical posture in any bias, always will be the wrong posture. And while I definitely think that the way it was said is kind of off, but the sentiment is still true. The sentiment certainly still holds true. Oh my god. Hold on. I have to get chat back up. Chat screen imploded for some reason. Alright, there we go. Yo, Hell Alchemy, my guy. Hope you're doing well. I like my woman like I like my games. Blocky and triangle titties. Yo. Shout out to you, dog. Feel free to explain yourself, but the fight against radical leftism wasn't about establishing a Christian Puritanism. Exactly. Exactly. And I like Christianity, but the Puritanism has always been a problem. It's always turned people against it. So, yeah, that's the issue. Hold on one second. How much to wear the Scooby Goon costume tonight? Well, I can't because it's 10 p.m., which means, guys, I do have to start getting ready for work very, very shortly. But maybe we could work something out another time, Ruzy. There's always this Thursday. Gotta clean the snow off the car. Oh man, good luck, Lindo. Be safe out there. But what do you do for work? I did discuss it briefly, Dark X. I don't really want to get into it because, you know, I try to keep my personal life, like in terms of work, family, kind of private. So I definitely don't want to talk about it because it does, while I could be super vague, you know, it's just best to not. I fight crime. Yes, absolutely, I fight crime. I goon at work. I could be. You never know. You never know. But I'm trying to see if I can find the Ristro's comment. Damn, it's crazy. Some people actually put money behind this. You may quote unquote lose followers on social media, but you gain much more in staying true to Jesus. There was a reason why I shared 1 Peter 4 verses 3-6 with you a month ago as an endorsement. I had read the chapter that very day apart from my own quiet time, and God led me to share it as an act of encouragement. We will be slandered, we will be lied about, and standing for Christ may cause something in the short term, but why should we be so invested in that? Society's broken, perversion abounds, and all we can do is preach Christ and point to the cross. Stand strong, my sister in Christ. And I would argue that a lot of what has been caused in terms of like the ideology that we've taken such a strong issue with, it was an answer to essentially the radical right-leaning religious tyranny. All right, fucking tyrannical behavior. All right, trying to police everything from a Bible perspective was what caused a lot of the reaction that had led to the other extreme taking place. Fucking idiots, bro. Like, I just think that it's so silly that people are so fucking blinded by this shit. It's like, you want to fucking, literally, you encourage the shit that you essentially, like, you stand against. Yeah, extremism definitely breeds extremism, T-Man. Oh, we hit 180 likes, guys. You guys are insane. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. If you haven't, definitely hit the like button, guys. It does help me out. It was an awesome stream. Definitely a super awesome stream. It was amazing how much damage one little Twitter post did. Imagine how much the guy is laughing. I know, right? Yeah, it's crazy. She like, yo, she hit the heart for $100 super thanks. Yo, apparently, she didn't. The super thanks she acknowledged. Damn, people dropping. Yo, that's crazy. I mean, look, I ain't hating at the end of the day because I get the support that you guys think I deserve. But I don't know, man. It says a lot. It says a lot. I don't want to make it about money, but it be that way. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna harp on that too much. Professional Gooner cast, if you say so. But yeah, I think that this is overall just a really lame video. I think that the perspective that she took is really, really just bad overall. And yeah, there are a lot of simps that are definitely going to make sure to financially support her so that she can continue to take the extreme stance, because that's what they do believe in. But a lot of people, from what I've seen from these comments, very much disagree with her. Um, Obviously, I don't have the time to read through all of them, but everyone's calling out her hypocrisy, which she can't escape because there's years of hypocrisy here. Oh shit, LG's here. Do I gotta make another response video? Like I mentioned on X, which you conveniently ignored, calling the first Ascent a Coomer game is not only wrong, but it's ignorant. Let me see. I'm trying to find your comment there, Levistro. But yeah, I'm seeing basically a whole fuck ton of disagreement here, and the agreements are the ones that are dropping these super things. Stay strong, Melonie. We appreciate you. She's acknowledging the super stickers. She definitely doesn't want to have the discussion with people in the chat. Here's one that she responded to that doesn't have money attached to it. Shocking. But thankfully we've seen this. I want to acknowledge what I see and what is the truth. So this person says, as a guy who has struggled with lust and is hopeful for a better direction in all areas of life, I really appreciate Melonie being honest, but with our best interests at heart on these things. It's a rare thing. It's a rare thing nowadays, and it's something a lot of people need to hear. It doesn't matter if you're Christian, atheist, etc. There are undoubtedly a spiritual war in our culture, and I just want to see everyone move towards good and truth. This is the way. And I think that definitely everybody has things that they need to improve on, but to sit here and act like she is holier than thou and essentially browbeat a massive part of the audience that she grew, I think it's just wrong. And maybe there's going to be people that relate, and he does, but he's already established that he's had an issue and has been working on it. But she is not, I don't think that she has convinced anybody that hasn't already convinced themselves to consider this. If anything, she's turned people off to it. Basically, no one here was enlightened by this video. It's just people that have already been quote unquote enlightened are agreeing. So if I want to make money on YouTube, I should stop playing with emulation handhelds and ROM hacks and talk about Jeebus. There's an audience for it. It does exist. Poor Jared Roberts, he didn't get any farewell $100 donos because he ain't a heavy makeup churker wearing ethos. Damn. You ain't wrong. I mean, he was building a channel decently by supporting the Gooner content for a while, but yeah, guys, we're just harping at this point, I guess. But we have to find out who to raid at this point. You guys were an amazing audience. If you're new, definitely consider subscribing to the channel. There will definitely be more of this where I will fight against people that push this authoritarian mindset, man. Both sides of the aisle. Both sides of the aisle can get the smoke. That's how I feel. I'm not going to be biased because, oh my god, I agree with some points Melonie has made in the past. Like, no, she's clearly wrong here. It is what it is. I'm going to hold true to my principles first and foremost above all else, and that is not going to change. And you don't necessarily have to agree with my principles, but I'm going to be as absolutely consistent as I can possibly be. I'm not perfect, neither is Melonie, and I think that we can all acknowledge that. But she's very, very much a hypocrite here. She can't sit here and pretend that that isn't the case. So there's that. But let me see. Let's see who we could raid. Gotta show some love to some homies out here, man. And also, if you can, guys, check out my Twitter. That's the best way to keep up with me. I do try to, converse with as many people as I can. But I did have my old Twitter account suspended permanently. So this is my new one. Definitely follow me there. It's a good way to keep up with what I got going on. Because I do always post like what's going to be happening, when I decide that, obviously. So you can keep up with me there. If you became a channel member, link your YouTube and your Discord so that you can automatically get into my Discord server and be a part of the community. It's an awesome spot. I just recently overhauled a lot of shit. Added a bunch of new cool stuff, so definitely be cool to engage with the community there. So if you're a channel member, if you're a new channel member, definitely jump in the Discord. Or if you're, you want to consider becoming a channel member, 99 cents gets you instant access to the Discord. So there's all that, man. So it's cool. I'm trying to fucking improve it and to give you guys something better, because I see a lot of you really want to be there, so I want to make it better for you guys. So that's a thing. And let me see. Ziggy's like, hey, it's time for food. And it is. I have to go feed him. My PC's being retarded right now. I'm being kind of like a pain in the ass. I'm trying to raid you guys off at somebody. Oh my god. That just happened. Holy shit. Hold on, let's try this again. My bad. But Nagal, appreciate you saying, hey, you should definitely react to this. It was definitely a interesting video to react to. Cast PC sucks. She needs a 5090. I don't need a 5090, but I definitely need a new PC. But thankfully my PC has held up for quite a few years and it's still kicking. It still plays everything I want to play quite nicely, so I can't complain about that. But I have been saving up, and this year I will be building something new, so that's gonna be fun. We're gonna show some love to my boy Society Reviews. He's a good homie. He's actually religious, but he also does not stand with the shit that Melonie has been saying and sort of all of them. And he is currently hosting the Barroom podcast, an awesome group of homies. So definitely show him some love. Definitely hit the like button on his channel. And let him know who sent you. I know a good video on the opposite of Melonie if you want that too. Hey, I appreciate it, Lois. Definitely send that over. I'll check it out, see what's up. But new GPU arrives in a couple of days. Golden apples, definitely enjoy that shit, bro. Nagal, golden apples, Philip, Jordan, I-Man, T-Man, L Alchemy, Lowest Expectations. Thank you so much for the raid, by the way, Lowest Expectations. Thank you guys so much for all the super chats and the support and the gifted memberships. You were far too fucking kind to me, guys. Thank you all so much for that. You totally didn't have to, but you chose to anyway. It's very much appreciated. Don't think that it isn't. Thank you so much for the new subscribers. Thank you for all the likes. We almost hit 200 likes into the live stream. That was what? Like, let me see. That was less than 4 hours. That's pretty crazy. Appreciate all that. Post that in a react request. I appreciate that, Lois. Thank you so much. And guys, definitely engage in the new react requests forum that I have going on there. It helps me kind of, distinguish what is what, and definitely recommend stuff. I don't care if someone's religious as long as they're humble and don't try to convert me. Exactly, Alchemy. I feel exactly the same way as you. Casualties, thank you so much for being here, brother. Jordan, you guys are awesome. Serpentine Deity, Levistro, dude, you do too much, bro. You need to stop. You need to stop, brother. I appreciate it. Stank, bro. Dimos, Thomas, welcome to the crew, Thomas. Arepa, try to acknowledge all you guys. If I miss anyone, it's not intentional, but I appreciate y'all. I got to go get ready for work. Say hello to Society Reviews and the gang. And with all that being said, guys, I'm out. Peace.